Chapter 294. It's best if you don't like me. I'm just afraid that you will. My heart is already dead. I won't fall in love with anyone. Don't have any hope for a dead person. Qin Baiyuan continued to drink as he spoke. Su Dai didn't know what to say, so she just drank with him silently. When he was so drunk that he was lying on the bar counter, she helped him up and staggered out. Qin Baiyuan looked thin, but his body was full of muscles. He was very heavy, and Su Dai had a hard time carrying him. Qin Baiyuan. Can you use more strength? You're so heavy. I want to vomit. Qin Baiyuan pushed her away as he spoke. He leaned against the pole and vomited. He hadn't eaten for a few days, so all he vomited was water. The people around him covered their noses and took a detour. Su Dai held his waist and massaged his back as she panted. Are you okay? You'll feel better if you vomit. Go on, vomit. Qin Baiyuan vomited for a long time. His whole body seemed to be hollowed out. He staggered and fell to the ground. He frowned in discomfort, with tears and snot all over his face. After vomiting, he seemed to sober up a little. He lowered his head and sat there, looking very dispirited. Why am I so miserable? What? I know you're not living well, but there are many people in this world who are worse off than you. I promise you, you're definitely not the worst one. Everything, think big and you'll be much more open-minded. Believe me, there's no obstacle in this world that can't be overcome. The key is that you don't give up first. If you do, you'll really be finished. Su Dai didn't care if he was drunk enough to listen to her words, but she still comforted him and talked a lot. Let's go later. She was suddenly pulled into his arms. Even though he was drunk, his strength was still so strong. She bumped into his strong chest, and there was a moment of dizziness in her head. His strong arms hugged her tightly, almost suffocating her. However, she felt more strongly that she couldn't resist his strength. Her body melted and so did her voice. Qin Baiyuan, who knows how bitter my heart is? Who can I tell? Everyone was looking at the Qin family as a joke. Everyone was waiting for me to die. But I can't die. My dad and my mom have to rely on me. I have to live for them. You are a good son. The heavens will definitely treat you well. Believe me, the darkness will pass and light will come. I don't know if there will be light after the darkness. I just want to have someone who belongs to me by my side. I'm willing to accompany you. Su Dai blurted out. But you can't give me what I need. Qin Baiyuan smiled bitterly. I will never have that feeling again. The two of them hugged for a long time before Su Dai helped Qin Baiyuan into the car. She foresaw that they would be drinking today, so she brought the driver along. Miss, where are we going now? She glanced at Qin Baiyuan. He had a terrible headache. He pinched the space between his eyebrows. Whatever. Hilton Hotel. The car started. Qin Baiyuan kept his eyes closed in discomfort. Su Dai asked, Are you feeling very uncomfortable? Do you want to buy some hangover medicine? No need. The blue light stung Qin Baiyuan's eyelids. He opened his eyes uncomfortably and suddenly saw a familiar figure. It was her. Stop the car. He shouted hurriedly. He rushed out of the car before it came to a complete stop. Shi Shujing. He grabbed her hand. Shi Shujing was wandering aimlessly on the street when he suddenly saw Qin Baiyuan's red face. He was stunned. It's so late. Why are you walking alone? Where's Si Wenchen? Shi Shujing's eyes were instantly filled with tears. Did he bully you? Damn it. I'll avenge you. He staggered as soon as he turned around and almost fell. However, his eyes were burning with anger. Sai, be careful. Su Dai quickly helped him up and nodded at Shi Shujing to greet her. Let go of me. I'm going to find Si Wenchen. Qin Baiyuan, don't be like this. He didn't bully me. I'm the one who feels bad. You're crying because he didn't bully you? Don't cover for him anymore. It must be him. I'm going to get even with him. Stop it. Su Dai grabbed him and refused to let go. Look at you now. Can you even walk in front of him? It's not like you don't know how good Brother Si is to Shi Shujing. How could he bear to bully her? Maybe there's some misunderstanding between them. You're an outsider, don't interfere. Then why are you crying? I can't tell you now. Miss Su, please send him off. I'll leave first. Don't go. Qin Baiyuan shook off Su Dai and grabbed her hand. How can I let you walk on the street alone like this? It's so dangerous out there. What if you meet someone who's going to hurt you? Since you don't want to go home, come with me first. I don't want to. You still don't believe me? Shi Shujing, I know you're feeling bad. You must need someone to talk to. You can tell me. You trust me, don't you? Shi Shujing bit her lip and nodded. Her heart was in a mess. Qin Baiyuan was her family. She really had a lot to say to him. How about this? I'll send you back first, okay? Su Dai asked. Qin Baiyuan didn't even look at her. He helped Shi Shujing into the car. Su Dai felt like she had completely become the background. She couldn't even be considered as a background. She was completely invisible. She couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. The driver who had been following behind Shi Shujing called Si Wenxin to report the situation. "Xio, do you still want to follow them?" "Yes. Follow them and make sure they're safe." Si Wenxin stood by the floor-to-ceiling window and rubbed his eyebrows tiredly. He replied in a low voice. It was better to have Qin Baiyuan with her. He could enlighten her. Otherwise she would have more thoughts if she was alone. Qin Baiyuan brought Shi Shujing back to the apartment. "Miss Su isn't coming up." "What is she doing here? She will only disturb our conversation." "I think she cares about you. It's not good for you to let her go back like this." "There's nothing bad about it. I'm not very familiar with her." Qin Baiyuan poured a cup of hot water and handed it to her. "It's cold. Hurry up and cover it." Shi Shujing sighed. Qin Baiyuan was a smart man. But when it came to love he was always slow. As an outsider she could see clearly that Su Dai liked him, but he didn't feel anything at all. She was really worried that he would only understand Su Dai's kindness after losing her. "I see that you can't even walk steadily. You must have drunk a lot." "I'm fine." In fact, Qin Baiyuan's head was hurting so much that it was about to explode. But when he looked at her, he could calm down a little, and his heart was not so painful. "Go take a shower first. After that, we can talk slowly. There are 2 bathrooms here. I'm going to take a shower too." "Okay." After washing up, Shi Shujing wore Qin Baiyuan's clothes and blanketed the sofa in a daze. Qin Baiyuan came out while drying his hair. He was dressed very neatly. "Is the heater enough? Do you want to turn it on a higher temperature?" "No, it'll be hot if it's any higher." "Okay." Qin Baiyuan sat on the sofa opposite her and looked at her for a long time. "Do you want to talk to me? Maybe you don't want to talk now. Go to bed early." Shi Shujing buried his chin in the blanket. It seemed that it would be warmer. He looked at the patterns on the sofa and said calmly, "I just learned something and you have known it for a long time. A few years ago I was pregnant once and I had a miscarriage, right?" Qin Baiyuan wanted to take the teacup, but his hands suddenly froze in mid-air, and his whole body trembled. He never thought that she would tell him this. "Actually, it's nothing surprising. You will know what you should know eventually. Did you change your attitude towards me because of this?" Shi Shujing always thought that Qin Baiyuan hated her because of the forced marriage. Now that she thought about it, he actually mentioned the child several times when he was angry, but she didn't understand, so she didn't care. "Who told you that?" "Stony Moon. That year I was drugged by her." "What?" Qin Baiyuan was surprised. After the accident, Stony Moon told him that Shi Shujing went to a bar and got pregnant accidentally, so he didn't know who the father of the child was. At that time he believed in her unwaveringly, so his good impression of Shi Shujing was greatly reduced, and he thought that she was a very casual girl. After that, she insisted on marrying him. He thought that she was a broken shoe that had been played by someone and asked him to take over. He had always suspected that her so-called amnesia was just an act. After they got married, Qin Yuning didn't allow him to mention that in front of Shi Shujing, so he didn't say it. However, there must have been a big knot in his heart, and even touching her was dirty. He didn't expect that a few years later, he would find out that she had been drugged by Stony Moon. The truth was often shocking, and Qin Baiyuan couldn't accept it for a long time. However, Stony Moon had always hated Shi Shujing. When people are driven by hatred, they can do all kinds of terrible things. "I can't believe that she is so vicious." "That's right. I don't want to believe it either. Our relationship has always been bad, but I always feel that we have the same blood flowing in our bones. Even if she doesn't acknowledge me, it's not to the extent of, the heavens are playing tricks on people, to actually make me lose my memory and forget about this matter. It's fine if I forget about it, but I just have to remember it. The heavens really love to play tricks on people." Qin Baiyuan didn't want to think about how much that matter had hurt her. Just thinking about it made his heart ache. That man? It's Wenxin." Shi Shujing replied. Qin Baiyuan didn't know what to say. "He knew it was me from the beginning, but he kept it from me. He said that because he cared too much about me, he didn't dare to tell me." "What kind of bullshit excuse is that?" Qin Baiyuan said that, but he asked himself, if it was him, would he have the courage to say it? Perhaps he would also choose to hide it. Chapter 295. So, I don't know how to face him. I know he loves me very much, but no one can stand being deceived. I don't blame him really. Maybe I just don't like to be played by fate like this. Too many things have happened recently. Just when I thought the storm was over and a sunny day was coming, I encountered such a situation again. So I'm thinking if I'm destined to have a difficult life and have to go on like this endlessly. Is it true that this ordeal will never end? I'm really tired. I just want a simple happiness, that's all. I understand, but life is so ket up. Don't you have to bite the bullet and go on? You have to think that at least you're better than me. Look, my dad is in jail, my mom betrayed me, blue sky is in a storm, and the whole world is waiting to see me make a fool of myself. Am I not living like a heartless person? You're still a little weaker than me. Although Qin Baiyuan said it in a joking tone, Shi Shujing knew how bitter he was in his heart. I'm sorry, I was too busy complaining to you and didn't care about you. I'm so selfish. It's okay, I'm a man. What can I get through? At most, if blue sky closes down, I'll be a male prostitute to support my family. Shi Shujing was speechless. I'm serious. Look at how handsome I am. I'll definitely become the most handsome male prostitute. My products will be sold both at home and abroad. It won't be a problem to make tens of millions a year. You're so talkative. However, after being teased by him, Shi Shujing's mood improved a lot. You're not fighting alone. You still have me. You've done so much for me. If there's anything I need, just say the word. I'll go through fire and water without hesitation. Shi Shujing said solemnly. Qin Baiyuan said, thank you. In fact, he knew in his heart that he needed her the most. However, that was already impossible. Now what he hoped most was that she would be happy. If he still had 1% of his good luck, he hoped to give it all to her, even if it could only increase her happiness a little. His gaze landed on her abdomen. It was already slightly bulging and a small life was being nurtured inside. Her face was so gentle, and her whole body exuded a motherly gentleness. There was a radiance that he had never seen before, and he was infatuated with it. Qin Baiyuan couldn't help but think if she was pregnant with his child, if they were still a complete family, how good would that be? No matter how miserable his current situation was, he still felt that he was lucky to have her by his side. He still had the courage to persevere. He fantasized and couldn't help but smile. What are you thinking about? Why are you so engrossed? Nothing. Qin Baiyuan came back to his senses. He was afraid that she would see through his expectations, so he blushed slightly. It's getting late. Go to sleep. You're pregnant, you need to pay attention to your sleep. I know. Thank you for taking me in. Aren't we family? Why are you treating me like an outsider? Yes. To Shi Shujing, family was the best relationship between them, and it made her feel warm. Shi Shujing slept in the master bedroom, and Qin Baiyuan slept in the guest room. He looked at the wall under the dim moonlight, thinking that she was next door, and he felt very at ease. It had been a long time since he had this kind of moment of peace in his heart. He probably wouldn't have this kind of time again in the future, right? But to him it was already a comfort. He slowly closed his eyes. That night, Qin Baiyuan slept very soundly and didn't even dream. When he woke up, the sky was already bright. Usually when he woke up, his head would hurt and be in a mess, but at this moment he was extremely awake and his whole body was quite carefree. Thinking that Shi Shujing was next door, the corners of his mouth curled up again. He had to prepare breakfast for her. Unexpectedly, when he left the room, Shi Shujing had already served breakfast on the table and smiled at him in the warm sunlight. Morning, did I wake you up? No. Qin Baiyuan was dazzled by the gentle smile on her face. He felt that he would never see a more charming smile in his life. He looked at her deeply, wanting to firmly imprint such a smile in his mind and never forget it for the rest of his life. Have breakfast. Happiness came too suddenly, and Qin Baiyuan suddenly didn't know what to do. When he sat down, he looked a little awkward. I should be the one to prepare breakfast for you, but you, a pregnant woman, have to take care of me instead. You made breakfast? Can I eat it? Are you trying to make me have diarrhea? Shi Shujing winked playfully. Qin Baiyuan. Don't look down on me, okay? There aren't many ingredients in your fridge, so I just made some fruit salad and fried an egg. You can eat whatever you want. What do you want to eat? I'll go down and buy it later. No, I don't plan to stay here for long. It's too much trouble for you. If you think it's awkward for me to stay here, I'll leave this place for you. I'll move somewhere else. You can stay here with peace of mind as long as you want. But I have to go back eventually. I'm not breaking up with Wuxia. I just want to find a place to calm down. When I think it through, I'll go back. It won't take long. Okay. Qin Baiyuan was a little disappointed. You usually eat takeout at the company. It's not nutritious. You need to eat more fruits. I see that you've been overworked and haggard recently. You need to eat more nutrition. Only when you're full will you have the strength to fight against fate. Has Si Wenxin ever despised you? Despised me for what? Despised you for being so long-winded. Do you usually talk so much when you're with him? Shi Shujing was speechless for a few seconds. I care about you and you despise me for being long-winded? I'm joking. Qin Baiyuan thought to himself that if he could get the same treatment as Si Wenxin, how good would that be? She used to care about him very much, but he let her down. Oh yes, there's one thing. I know it might not be appropriate for me to say it, but I can't help it. Tell me, who are you and who are you? Su Dai is a very good girl, don't you think? Qin Baiyuan took a bite of the salad and thought that the taste was really not that good. It was like eating grass, but he liked it when she made it herself. He replied casually. Yeah. She's also very good to you, don't you think? Yes, she's very good. Then, what do you think of her? Nothing much. She's just very loyal and a good friend. You're actually not very close to her. She doesn't need to be loyal to you. She treats you well because she likes you. Don't tell me you can't tell. Really? Of course. If she didn't like you, would she be so kind to you? The way she looked at you just now showed that she really cares about you. Oh? That's it? What else can it be? Do I have to be moved to marry her just because she treats me well? Blue Sky is in such a situation now. If you two are really together, she can help you. Qin Baiyuan frowned. Are you asking me to sell myself to her? I didn't mean that. Of course, that's secondary. I really think that she's a good girl and treats you very well. You should cherish her. There are so many women in this world who treat me well. Do I have to marry every single one of them? But they're doing it for your money, while Su Dai simply likes you. So what? She likes me, but it doesn't mean that I have to reciprocate her feelings. I'm very grateful to her, but I don't have feelings for her. You've always been slow in understanding relationships. You didn't like me in the beginning, but later on, didn't you slowly cultivate? Shi Shujing. Qin Baiyuan called her name seriously. You're a special case for me. Do you understand? Other women can't compare to you. Not because I can cultivate feelings for every one of them, but because it's you. I'm not saying this to give you pressure, nor is it because I still have hope. It's just that, objectively speaking, you do have a special meaning to me. Besides, I'm not in the mood to talk about relationships with Blue Sky. But if there's one more person by your side, you'll have more power. Qin Baiyuan shook his head. I don't want to hold her up. I feel that this kind of thing, if you say it's not, and you can't force it. You know. Is there really no hope at all? Qin Baiyuan shook his head. Not in the past, not in the present, and not in the future. Maybe in the future I'll fall in love with another woman, but it will never be Su Dai. Shi Shujing was a little disappointed. What a pity. You always like to worry about others. Are you addicted to being a matchmaker? Or are you afraid that I'll pester you, so you want to quickly push me to her? To solve a problem for you. I didn't mean that. I just think that you two are quite compatible. She's a good girl, but unfortunately, you're as blind as a bat. Is there anyone who talks like that? I'm as blind as a bat if I don't like her? Shi Shujing smiled helplessly. Forget it. Anyway, I'm just saying. It's not up to me to decide whether it works out or not. It's good that you know that. Don't mention this kind of thing in the future. I don't like to hear it. Got it. Drink more milk. After breakfast, Qin Baiyuan asked. Do you want to go to the supermarket to buy more? No need. It's getting late. You should hurry to the company. What will you do if you're alone? Starve to death? Am I that weak? I'll go down and buy some later. Hurry to work. Don't worry about me. Qin Baiyuan nodded. Then I'll go. But when he went downstairs, he was still worried about her. He bought a lot of things and asked the shop assistant to send them upstairs before he went to work. Shi Shujing curled up on the sofa and read for a while. Then he took out the quilts for 2 rooms to dry. The sun was just right. It was warm and very comfortable when it shone on her. She squinted her eyes in the sun. She felt that the yin qi in her body was being exposed by the sun. She felt more energetic. Looking at the world shining with sunshine, she felt that everything was still very beautiful. Even if there was a storm the previous night, the sun would still dispel all the haze when it came out. It seemed that as long as she faced the direction of the sun, she would be full of hope. Chapter 296. Their first child was gone, and she could only accept the reality. In order not to let the regret continue, she should take good care of their second baby. Her hand gently touched her upper abdomen, thinking of the crystallization of their love inside. Growing up day by day, she felt at ease, and felt that no matter how difficult it was, it could be overcome. Shi Shujing stayed in the apartment for 2 days, but Qin Baiyuan did not come back. He probably felt that their identity was awkward, and he did not want Si Wenxin to misunderstand anything. It was good for her to be alone in peace and quiet. In the evening she took a walk on the commercial street by the river. Looking at all kinds of chocolates in the window, she walked into the shop and bought a box of chocolates. As soon as she came out, she saw Si Wenxin standing under the street lamp, wearing a long black windbreaker, tall and handsome. At that moment, she almost melted in the tenderness in his eyes. They had not seen each other for a few days, but she felt as if a lifetime had passed. Only then did she realize that she missed him very much, and her heart was about to break. The two stood there quietly for a long time before Si Wenxin walked up to her. There seemed to be thousands of words stuck in her throat, but in the end she only said one sentence. "Are you all right?" Shi Shujing nodded. "I'm fine, and so is the baby. I miss you very much. Have you missed me these past few days?" Si Wenxin looked into her eyes persistently, eagerly waiting for her answer. During the 4 days when they were apart, he had to make dozens of phone calls to his assistant every day to make sure she was safe and ask her what she was doing. Most of the time he was at the company because he was afraid to go home and face the empty house alone. He would feel uncomfortable and couldn't help but want to find her, afraid that he would put pressure on her. However, after only 4 days he could not stand it anymore, and the crazy missing almost overwhelmed him. He kept guessing what she was doing, and his imagination ran wild, scaring himself, afraid that she would not forgive him and leave with the baby. "Shujing, I'm sorry, can you forgive me?" "What do you mean by forgive? I never blamed you, it was not your fault." Si Wenxin's eyes lit up. "Then are you willing to go back with me?" "Give me 2 more days, I still need some time." Of course, Shi Shujing missed him very much, but when he really came to find her, she suddenly felt that she wasn't ready. She didn't know what exactly she was resisting, but she probably wasn't mentally prepared. She was afraid that she would overthink things if she went back to that house before she could sort out her feelings. "Can you go back with me first? If you need some space, I can move out. That family can't be without you." "Wenxin, I can't do it now." "Why? You still can't forgive me, can you? Do you still not want to face me?" Si Wenxin was anxious. "I know you still blame me, right? I didn't, don't force me, okay? It's not easy for me to calm down. Give me some more time. But I can't live without you. Shujing, do you know how I spent the past 4 days? Every minute and every second was incomparably torturous for me. I thought about you, I didn't stop thinking about you for even a second. If this goes on, I'm going to go crazy." His anxious words messed up Shi Shujing's heart. She wanted to escape the passionate feelings. "I'll go first. I'll go home when I've thought it through." "Shujing, don't go. Let go of me, don't force me." She pushed and shoved. "Shujing, I can't let you leave me." At this moment, the shed above their heads suddenly fell down. At that moment, Si Wenxin used his body to protect Shi Shujing, completely protecting her in the crook of his arm. Shi Shujing only heard something collapse. Rumble, rumble, it was very noisy, followed by the screams of passers-by. "Oh my God, someone was hit." At the hospital, Shi Shujing paced back and forth anxiously in the corridor. As soon as the doctor came out, she immediately grabbed him and asked, "How is he?" "He was hit in the head by a steel bar. He has a slight concussion and his right hand is fractured. Fortunately, it's not a big deal. He'll be fine when his arm recovers." "Is he really okay?" The doctor shook his head. Only then did Shi Shujing heave a sigh of relief. She had been in fear for half an hour and was almost scared out of her wits. She was not injured, but his entire arm was covered in blood. She was really afraid. "Can I go in and see him?" "Yes, but don't talk for too long. He needs to rest." "Okay, thank you, doctor." Shi Shujing walked quickly into the ward. Si Wenxin was sitting at the head of the bed. One of his hands was wrapped in bandages, and there were a few abrasions on his face. He looked quite miserable. But when he saw her coming, his eyes immediately lit up. "Shujing, sit down and don't move. How's your head? Are you still dizzy? Does your arm hurt?" "It doesn't hurt anymore. Don't worry. Such a small injury is nothing to a man. Why is there blood on your arm? Are you hurt?" "I'm not hurt. It's your blood. When the shed collapsed, you protected me. How could I be hurt?" "That's good. You fool, you could have dodged it. Why did you block it for me? Don't you know how dangerous it is? Silly girl, how could I let my woman get hurt? The accident happened too suddenly. My mind was blank. The only thought in my mind was that even if I had to risk my life, I would protect you. Shi Shujing knew that at the moment of the disaster, his action of protecting her was an instinctive reaction. He had already put her safety before his own. To him, she was the most important person. Any woman would be moved by such a deep love. I'm sorry. If I agreed to go back with you earlier, the accident wouldn't have happened. I really deserve to die. You're so good to me. How could I have the heart to quarrel with you? I'm sorry. I'll go home with you. I won't quarrel with you anymore. Did you do it because you felt guilty? No. Shi Shujing shook her head desperately. I don't blame you at all. I just want to go home when I completely calm down. But you see me as more important than your own life. What reason do I have to leave you? These few days I've thought it through very clearly. The past, whether it's good or bad, is in the past. The most important thing is that we're together now and in love. The misfortune of our first child must not happen a second time. After going through so many hardships, we should be together and guard this hard-won happiness. Shujing, Si Wenchen was touched by her words. As long as you don't blame me, I'm willing to be hit no matter how many times. She smiled through her tears. Are you stupid? How can you say such things? I'm stupid. That's because of you. For you, I'm willing to be stupid. You only know how to torture me. These few days I've been tormented. Promise me, no matter what happens in the future, don't leave me. Even if there's a conflict, don't run away from home, okay? I didn't run away from home. I just go to your ex-husband's house for a few days? Si Wenchen had a jealous expression on his face. Although I know there's nothing between the two of you, I feel very uncomfortable at the thought of you living in his house. I'm very jealous. He's not at home. I'm the only one living there. Why are you jealous? The two of you really love each other. One moment you feel at ease leaving me to him, and the next moment you're jealous of him and want to kill him. In my opinion, the two of you are a good match. That won't do. He said domineeringly. You're petty. I'm petty. What's wrong with that? What else could Shi Shujing do when faced with such a domineering man? He was angry and amused. Okay. It's all my fault. I promise I'll never run away from home again, okay? Aha, it's useless to run away from home. Even if you run to the ends of the earth, you won't be able to escape from me. You'll always be my woman. You only belong to me. Got it? Good. Si Wenchen was satisfied and pulled her into his arms. He hugged her too hard and hurt himself. He let out a muffled groan. However, this was the only way he could truly feel her existence and feel that she belonged to him. Only then could he feel at ease. What's wrong? Did you touch my wound? It's okay. My hand hurts, but my heart is sweet. He deeply inhaled the fragrance of her hair and said passionately, Oh my God, I miss you so much. When you're not around, I don't even know how I got through it. At night, I hugged your pillow, smelled your fragrance, and pretended that you were still by my side. But when I thought that you were no longer here, I felt even more disappointed. Shujing, I won't lie to you anymore. Well, I won't lose my temper and quarrel with you anymore. Every relationship wasn't smooth sailing. Only when we tolerate each other can we reach the end of happiness. The knot in her heart from a few years ago was completely untied from Shi Shujing's heart at this moment. She also heaved a sigh of relief. There was still a long way to go. Thinking about it made her feel tired. But every step in the past had never been easy. Didn't she persist step by step until now? The longer she persisted, the more she understood the value of this relationship. Now, even if they encountered great difficulties, it was impossible to separate them again. Their tightly clasped hands had been firmly clasped together and could never be separated. During the week when Si Wenchen was hospitalized, Shi Shujing took care of his daily necessities. In her words, he was a super troublesome giant baby. In the evening, when Shi Shujing returned to the ward, Si Wenchen was anxiously looking for her. Where have you been? His nervous expression made her nervous too. I want to buy porridge for you. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Do you want to call a doctor? I didn't see you when I woke up. I was worried that you had left. Didn't you say that you would always stay with me? How could you leave me alone in the ward? Si Wenchen's tone was quite sad, like a child, which made Shi Shujing feel funny. Please, I sat by the bed with you for 2 hours, okay? Who knows how long you were going to sleep? It's already past 5 o'clock. If I don't go down now, I won't have your favorite yam porridge anymore. At that time you will make trouble for me again. Who made trouble for you? You still deny it? Who was the one who didn't have yam porridge yesterday and rolled on the bed? I'm just short of crying. Si Wenxin refused to admit it. Chapter 297. Other people are getting more mature as they live, but you're getting younger and younger. You're getting more and more childish. Not only do I have to take care of the baby in my stomach, but I also have to take care of you. Do you think it's easy for me? Shi Shujing shook her head, feeling tired for herself. What? You're angry now, aren't you? You don't want to take care of me anymore, right? Men will only show their childish side in front of the woman they love. Do you understand? Yes. Anyway, you're in the right. I can't argue with you. Si Wenxin pinched her nose. You say you can't argue with me, but you're the one who has me under your thumb. For a lifetime. Since I'm giving you food for a lifetime, you should give me food too, okay? As he spoke, he hugged her and wanted to kiss her. Stop it. Eat the porridge. I don't want porridge. I want to eat you. Si Wenxin's eyes suddenly became passionate and sexy. Shi Shujing soon melted in his eyes and was swallowed by his kiss. She unconsciously wrapped her arms around his neck and responded to his kiss. The kiss lasted for a long time before Si Wenxin let go of her lips reluctantly and bit her red and swollen lips as a punishment. Are you a puppy? How can you bite me? You're so charming. I can't get enough of you. Mushy. You like me mushy, right? Shi Shujing pursed her lips. She couldn't deny this, but she didn't want him to succeed. Hurry up and eat the porridge. It's getting cold. Okay. You feed me. I'll feed you one mouthful. By the way, it's been a week. When can the plaster be removed? It's almost time. Didn't the doctor say it can be removed in a week at most? Si Wenxin tried to move a few times. Not yet. It hurts. I can't exert any strength. You're acting right? When you hugged me just now, I saw that you were quite strong. You're imagining things. Aren't you going to feed me porridge? I'm waiting. You're already a grown-up and you still need someone to feed you. Don't you feel ashamed? Even the nurses laughed at you last time. His right hand is in a cast, but doesn't he still have his left hand? Why are you so long-winded? Do you really dislike me? If something happens to me and I'm paralyzed on the bed, will you find me troublesome after taking care of me for a few days? Pooh. You're just a child's babbling. Si Wenxin laughed. His neat white teeth were as bright as the sun. It was very infectious. Shi Shujing couldn't help but laugh too. Both of them shared the same bowl of porridge. Si Wenxin took a mouthful and Shi Shujing took a mouthful. Why didn't I eat the yam? You ate them all? No. Shi Shujing felt wronged. I've already given you the yam. I didn't eat it. You must have eaten it. If you don't believe me, let me kiss you and see if your mouth tastes like yam. This excuse was pretty good. She didn't feel like he was taking advantage of her at all. As they ate, Si Wenxin suddenly said, I've sent Stony Moon and her daughter to Canada. They won't be able to step into Flozen City for the rest of their lives. Shi Shujing grunted in acknowledgement. You won't blame me, right? Of course not. I know that you're already being merciful with this kind of punishment. Yes. If not for the fact that you're sisters, she would have to spend the rest of her life in prison. Shujing, I won't forgive anyone who has hurt you, and I won't let anyone have the chance to hurt you. You've suffered enough when you're with me. No one can hurt you anymore. Yes, I believe you. Si Wenxin touched her head. Thank you for trusting me. You're my man and the father of my child. If I don't trust you, who else can I trust? Wenxin, you're my one and only. Don't ever leave me and our child, okay? Okay. Since I'm holding your hand, I'll never let go until I die. After the porridge was finished, Si Wenxin suddenly said that there was a hard lump in the pillow, and it hurt him. How can there be something in the pillow? It can't be, right? Yes, there is. It's a very hard lump. Check it. Shi Shujing took out the pillow and patted it twice. A velvet jewelry box fell out from it. She was stunned. Open it. Shi Shujing suddenly had a strong premonition, and her mood also became nervous. Thump, thump, her heart was beating fast. She held her breath and opened the box. There was a diamond ring lying quietly inside. It was a simple style and the diamond was shining. At that moment, a strong feeling went straight to her heart. It was a sense of destiny, as if she had been waiting for such a ring to be put on her finger and her life. She covered her mouth and looked at him in surprise. She didn't expect this moment to happen at this moment in the hospital. Si Wenxin knelt on one knee in front of her. He looked at her with deep love in his eyes as if she was his whole world. I know that this may not be the most suitable time and place, but Shujing, I really love you. My desire to marry you is stronger than ever. I don't care about the time and place, I only care about you. Before I met you, I never thought about marriage, but now, if I get married, I will never think about anyone else except for the bride. After going through so many ups and downs, the marks left on us by the trials and tribulations have brought our hearts closer together. Actually, I've thought of countless proposals, but at this moment, my mind is blank. I just want to tell you that I love you very, very much, and I love our child very, very much. Sure, Shujing, marry me and let me take care of you for the rest of your life, okay? This sincere confession had already made Sure Shujing cry. She didn't know whether she was more touched or excited. None of that was important. The most important thing was that she was willing. She nodded desperately and choked with sobs. I'm willing to marry you, Shujing, I love you. The two of them hugged each other tightly. This moment was not easy for them. Even Si Wenshin couldn't help but have tears in his eyes. After a long time, he gently wiped away her tears. You're crying like a little kitten. Who knew that you would suddenly propose? Sure, Shujing felt embarrassed and stuck out her tongue. How long have you hidden this ring? I don't even know. I bought it for a long time, but I haven't found the right time. These days I've been hiding in the pillow, worried that the nurse would change the pillow when I'm not around, and I'm so tired. You're so childish. You think I'm childish, but you still agreed to my proposal? I just feel sorry for you. Really? Then why don't you take pity on me and marry me today? Today? Yes. I've hidden our household register in the pillow. Let's go and get our marriage certificate now, how about that? Sure, Shujing didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Aren't you too anxious? Your arm is still in a cast and it's so ugly to take a photo. I'm kidding. It's already healed. Si Wenshin removed the cast in a few moves, and proudly moved his arm and fingers in front of her. You lied to me, damn it. Otherwise, why would you feed me? I hate you. Sure, Shujing swung her fist at him, but Si Wenshin caught her hand. Come on, wife, let's get our marriage certificate. It had been raining heavily in Quicksand City for the past few days, but today was a sunny day, and the air was exceptionally fresh. The road was smooth and unimpeded, which was a good omen. The closer they got to the Civil Affairs Bureau, the faster Sure Shujing's heart beat. In fact, this moment would come sooner or later, but she really didn't think it would be so soon, and she was not prepared at all. However, there were always some impulsive moments in life, and this kind of impulse was exciting and full of hope for them. Si Wenshin drove with one hand, and held Sure Shujing's trembling fingers with the other. Wife, you're sweating. I'm so nervous I feel like I can't breathe. Then why don't we go back and in 2 days when you're ready? No. Right now, I want to marry you right now. Sure, Shujing said hurriedly, and she blushed again. What I mean is we're already here, let's not change the date. You really want to marry me? Yeah, I really want to marry you. Don't you really want to marry me? Of course. If I can't marry you, I'd rather be a bachelor for the rest of my life. You're talking about me, you're sweating too, and I feel like someone is more nervous than me. Calm down, my wife is here and she won't run away. You can't run away even if you want to. The two entered the Civil Affairs Bureau, and everything went according to the procedure. Both of their minds were blank. After getting their marriage certificate, Sure Shujing looked at the two festive red booklets, and her head was still dizzy. In the photo, both of their smiles were a little awkward and reserved. It was the first time Sure Shujing saw Si Wenshin's dull expression, and the nervousness was so cute. She asked blankly, So, we're married? Yes, we're married. Si Wenshin was completely awake at this moment, and her whole heart was firmly occupied by satisfaction and joy. From now on you're my legal spouse. Sure Shujing, I've finally married you. Si Lan was unwilling to be driven to Australia, and she called for a board meeting. Other than her, there were a total of 5 shareholders present, and she spent a lot of money in private to get in touch with them. When Sibo Hong entered the door, Si Lan smiled confidently. Today she would definitely save the situation. That. Sibo Hong was quite calm. After sitting down, he leisurely looked around. What do you mean? You're no longer in the company, what right do you have to call for a board meeting? I don't have the right. Today's meeting was requested by several directors to oppose your wrong decision. Si Lan stood up. Since more than 10 years ago, you've retired behind the scenes because of your health problems. For more than 10 years, I've been in charge of the company. You think you're in control of the overall situation, but what you see is just some dead data. Only I know the specific problems of the company. In the past 10 years, under my leadership, the company's profits have increased by 10%. It can be said that Shang Yang's current empire was fought for by me. Aren't you too cruel to deprive me of my achievements like this? Chapter 298. I don't want money. What I want is the position of Shangyang's president. You are so old that you don't have the energy to manage Shangyang. You just want to leave it to Si Wenqin. But what right do you have to take away my achievements? Do you think I will just give it to others? Everyone in the company knows that Shangyang can have such a scale now because of me. They have already tacitly agreed that I am the president. Sibo Hong sneered indifferently. So what do you want now? The company has a rule that the president can be decided by the board of directors. It's not just what you say. It also depends on what the 5 shareholders say. Shangyang is the country of our Si family. How can it be decided by outsiders? Silan smiled and shook her head. You are still so stubborn. Who do you think you are? The emperor of Shangyang? Now, it is about the capable who can take over. It is not about you giving orders alone. It is difficult to convince the public like this. So you want them to vote? That's right. You really won't shed tears until you see the coffin. You are embarrassing yourself and embarrassing the Si family. It is you who won't shed tears until you see the coffin. You will pay the price for your stubbornness. Okay. Don't you want to vote? Then hurry up and start. I don't have so much time to waste with you. Silan hooked up the corner of her mouth. Uncles, all of you have seen the painstaking efforts I have put into Shangyang over the years. Whether I have the ability or not, all of you are very clear. The future of Shangyang is now in your hands. I believe that uncles will make the right choice. Please raise your hand if you support me to be the president. Silan was full of confidence. She thought that even if there were not 5 votes, there would be at least 4 votes. However, none of the 5 shareholders raised their hands. She frowned in disbelief. You guys, yesterday they clearly agreed, but today they rebelled collectively. It seemed that they were just acting. It was Sibo Hong who manipulated them behind the scenes. For a moment, she fell into a helpless predicament. You want to fight with me? You are really too inexperienced. Do you think that after being the acting president for more than 10 years, Shangyang is in your pocket? Naive. Remember, the master of Shangyang will always be me, Sibo Hong. If I want to give it to you, I will naturally give it to you. I don't want to give it to you, so don't even think about touching Shangyang. Is there any use in bribing them? In the past, they followed me to conquer the country, so how could they be bribed by a little girl like you? You want to steal my Shangyang? That's just a pipe dream. Silan was utterly defeated, and her expression changed drastically. Dad, it's my fault. I shouldn't have thought about Shangyang. I just did such a wrong thing because I was unwilling. Please forgive me, Dad. I don't want the position of president. Please let me continue to work for Shangyang, Dad. She knelt down and hugged Sibo Hong's thigh, begging, but he pushed her hand away. I gave you a chance, but you didn't know what was good for you. You actually dared to provoke me again. Shangyang, there is no longer a place for you. Pack your things and leave Flozen City. There was only one light in the room, and it was eerie. The door did not open. Silan's back was facing the door. In the darkness, her face became increasingly gloomy and terrifying. No one knew what kind of plot she was hatching. Her entire body emitted a cold and gloomy aura. Cough, 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 cough. The sound of coughing could be heard. Sibo Hong passed by the door and stopped. Have you packed your things? What time is your flight tomorrow? Silan did not move. I'm talking to you, did you hear me? If you don't want to pack, then just go there and buy more. Why do you have to do this to me? Silan slowly stood up. Because of the light in her hair, her 2 eyes seemed to be deeply sunken, like a devil. Seeing her like this, Sibo Hong felt very uncomfortable. How did I do this to you? It's because you don't like daughters that I've never received your love since I was born. I've been living in fear every day. Ever since I was young, I've always strived to do my best. I want you to be proud of me, I want you to change your mind. However, no matter how much effort I put in, I can't compare to Wenqin doing nothing. The reason is because I'm my daughter. Dad, I'm also your child. Why are you so unfair to me? There's no why. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame yourself for not being a man. But I'm no worse than a man. For so many years I've done my best for Shangyang. You've seen it with your own eyes, haven't you? You're not doing it for Shangyang. You're doing it for yourself. I've warned you many times not to have any ideas about Shangyang, but your ambition is getting bigger and bigger. It's you who forced me to take measures. I'm ambitious because I've done too much for Shangyang. Moreover, my ability matches my ambition. If it were you, would you be willing to give away the fruits of your hard work for so many years? Don't talk so much nonsense. I've already made up my mind. Nothing you say can change it. Must you be so cruel to me? You're the one who forced me. Ceylon completely gave up. Fine. Since it's like this, don't blame me for being cruel. Ceylon snapped her fingers. Four bodyguards rushed out and surrounded Sibo Hong. What do you want? I want you to give Shangyang to me. I want you to change your will. How dare you do this to me? Sibo Hong expected that she would resist, but he didn't expect her to be so ambitious as to force him to this extent. I'm your father? You only know now that you're my father? But I don't have a heartless father like you. From the moment you wanted to kick me out of the house, I've already severed our relationship as father and daughter. You're heartless, so don't blame me for being heartless. Sibo Hong was heartbroken. No matter how I calculated, I never thought that I would be treated like this by my own daughter. I've worked so hard for so many years, but in the end I've cultivated a vicious wolf with wild ambitions. Don't talk about how great you are. You've never done anything for me. Everything I have is from my own hard work. What wild ambition. I just want to take back what belongs to me. Is that wrong? What's wrong is that you're too biased. If you were a little more fair to me, it wouldn't be like this. I'll ask you one last time. The position of CEO, are you going to give it to me or not? Don't even think about it. Even if I die, I won't let you succeed. Fine, I'd like to see how long your old bones can last. Let's see if your body is hard or your mouth is hard. Lock him up until he changes his mind. Yes. How dare you? How dare you touch me? Sibo Hong struggled with all his might for a few times. He was out of breath and couldn't move anymore. Look at you. You're already so old. Why are you still so stubborn? Ceylon sneered and mocked. Don't you think you're already a waste? You're useless? You've done so many things for Wunshin. But will your baby be grateful for what you've done? He doesn't want Shangyang at all. He even turned against you for a woman. Is it really worth it for you to treat him so well? For so many years, the only one who's been filial to you is me. If you give Shangyang to me, I'll continue to be filial to you in the future. You're already so old. Isn't it better to retire and enjoy the rest of your life? Why fight with me? Sibo Hong turned his head to the side and panted heavily. Looks like you won't change your mind. But it doesn't matter. I have time to waste with you. I'm just afraid you can't afford it. You can't lock me up for a few days. Wunshin will definitely come to save me. Ah, you're still dreaming? Right now, he only has Shi Shujing in his heart. Why would he care about your life or death? By the time he remembers you, maybe you'll already be a skeleton. Alright, by the way, I'll tell you a piece of good news. He married Shi Shujing today. Look at you. You're fighting with me because of him. He didn't even tell you that he's getting married. He even married the woman you hate the most. With this comparison, doesn't it seem like I'm a filial daughter? Filial? You're an ungrateful wretch. Speaking of ungrateful wretches, I don't dare to compare with him. He's the real ungrateful wretch. I lost because I'm a daughter. But I won't just sit and wait for death. In the end, you'll definitely agree to my conditions. If you don't believe me, let's wait and see. Ceylon gave a look. The bodyguard dragged Sibo Hong into the room. Ceylon didn't feel a trace of guilt in her heart for treating Sibo Hong like this. On the contrary, there was a crazy revenge. She should have done this a long time ago. She wasted a few years of her youth. In this world, there was no one she could trust and rely on. Even her own father couldn't. The only person she could trust was herself. Since she had put in so much effort, Sibo Hong still refused to give her what she wanted. Then she could only rely on herself to snatch it. Shangyang's empire would eventually fall into her hands. No one could stop her. Ceylon sat in the living room. She was still monitoring Shangyang's situation through the company's spies. Although Sibo Hong had ordered her not to step into Shangyang, she still thought that she was the CEO of Shangyang. Mississippi, the bodyguard walked in and looked at her with a troubled expression. Has that old thing eaten yet? The bodyguard shook his head. It's been 3 days. He still hasn't eaten? Not only hasn't he eaten, he hasn't even drunk a drop of water. If this goes on, I'm afraid the master can't hold on anymore. How about, or what? Do you think he'll let me go if I let him go now? What are you afraid of? The old man is very tough. He won't die so easily. Of course, Ceylon couldn't let Sibo Hong die. If he died, the will would take effect. At that time, she wouldn't get a single cent. Prepare a bowl of porridge. I'll go see him in person. Half an hour later, Ceylon opened the door with the porridge. She didn't need to be careful to prevent him from running away. Sibo Hong was dying of old age and had no energy left to struggle. Sibo Hong curled up on the sofa and hugged himself. He was thin and now he was shockingly thin. He looked haggard, reminding people of a dying beast. No matter how fierce he was when he was young, he was miserable and useless when he was old. Any prey could easily kill him. Chapter 299. Dad? She half squatted in front of him. Sibo Hong seemed to be in a semi-conscious state. She pushed him a few times and he slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were bloodshot and looked a little scary. Ceylon breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't respond just now, so she thought he was dead. Dad, how are you? Sibo Hong coughed twice. His voice was heavy and weak as if he would pass out in the next second. Cough, 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 cough. You haven't eaten for 2 days? Drink some porridge. Go. I don't want to see you. Ceylon pretended to be worried. How can you be like this? Your body can't take it anymore. Drink some porridge first, okay? You go. Dad, why are you being so stubborn? Do you think I want to do this? You don't know how much my heart aches seeing you like this. We are father and daughter. Blood is thicker than water. There's no need to make things like this. Although you don't treat me well, you are still my father. Do you really not remember how I have taken care of you for so many years? I also want to be a filial daughter, but you have to give me a chance. If you don't eat or drink, your body will suffer and I will also suffer. Pretending? You just want to trick me? Make me give Shangyang to you? But I would rather die than, Dad. Get out. Ceylon's face darkened. She felt that there was no need to continue acting and slammed the bowl of porridge on the coffee table. You old thing, you refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Do you think I can't do anything like this? Shangyang, even if I can't have him, your precious son can forget about having him. There's no point in fighting me like this. What do you want? You don't treat me as your daughter, but your son treats me as his sister. I can make him give up Shangyang's inheritance with just a word. You dare? I dare to lock you up. What else do I not dare to do? Let me tell you, if I can't have him, then he can forget about having him. If you want to continue wasting time, then continue wasting time. If you die, then no one can stop me. Eat or leave. Ceylon knocked over the bowl of porridge and turned to leave. You unfilial daughter, unfilial daughter. Sibo Hong was so angry that he couldn't breathe and his eyes almost rolled back. Ceylon returned to her room, removed her makeup and purposely made herself look haggard. Then she arranged to meet up with Si Wenchen. When he arrived at the restaurant, he was shocked by her haggard appearance. Sis, what's wrong? Ceylon just lowered her head and smiled bitterly without saying a word. Is it Dad? Don't worry, Dad's body is fine. Then why do you look so haggard? It looks like you haven't rested for days. What happened? Ceylon's eyes reddened in an instant. Si Wenchen had asked her, but she had refused to answer. He was very anxious. Ever since he was young, he had never seen Ceylon cry. When he asked her, she wouldn't say anything, so he didn't know what had happened. Sister, what's the matter? Tell me. I'll deal with it for you. You can't solve it. Ceylon shook her head and tears streamed down her face as if she had suffered a great grievance. It's my hard life. My husband treats me like this and now Dad. I just have no one to love me. I deserve to be alone for the rest of my life. What's wrong with Dad? Dad changed his will and gave you Shangyang and all the shares. He didn't leave anything for me. He even drove me to Australia and didn't let me step into Shangyang again. How could this be? Dad can't treat you like this. Why not? You know how biased he has been all along. He only has you as his son in his heart. He has never had me. In his eyes, I'm no different from an ordinary employee. After using me, he kicks me away. I'm so miserable. Dad is a bit unfair to you, but it's not to the extent. Si Wenchen frowned. He knew how much unfair treatment Ceylon had received at home over the years, so he treated her better and wanted to make it up to her. He thinks I have ambition and want to be the president of Shangyang. He's afraid that I'll endanger your inheritance, so he wants to drive me away. Wenchen, in all honesty, I've never wanted to be the president of Shangyang. I've put in so much effort for you. I know that you've done too much for Shangyang. The position of the president should have belonged to you. I've never thought about getting it back. Dad is too stubborn to treat you like this. Isn't Dad doing everything for you? All these years, you know very well whether my sister has treated you well or not. I really can't stand it anymore, so I came to you for help. How do you want me to help you? Seeing him fall into her trap step by step, Ceylon was secretly proud, but she still pretended to be very pitiful. I don't want Shangyang, but what Dad did this time really made my heart cold. If he wants you to inherit Shangyang, it definitely won't be my turn, so I can only. You want me to give up Shangyang's inheritance? Ceylon didn't make a sound, looking as if she was embarrassed to say it. I know it's very unfair to you, but my heart is really too uncomfortable. For me, the important thing is not Shangyang. I just want Dad to understand that you don't want Shangyang, and he can't treat me like this. Okay. Si Wenshin agreed without hesitation. All these years, I haven't done anything for you. If this can make it up to you, I agree. Furthermore, I've never thought about Shangyang. In my heart, he has always belonged to you. The greatest happiness in my life is having a younger brother like you. Wenshin's sister thanks you. Ceylon expressed her gratitude on the surface, but a cunning and cold glint flashed across her eyes without batting an eyelid. How about this? You sign this agreement to give up your inheritance, then I can talk to Dad. Si Wenshin didn't think that Ceylon would actually ask him to sign an agreement, but in order to reassure her, he still nodded. He picked up the pen and was about to sign his name. You can't sign it. Wenshin, don't fall for her trap. Tang Tang suddenly rushed out. Ceylon's expression changed and she suddenly stood up. What are you doing here? Wenshin, you can't sign it. Tang Tang rushed over and snatched Si Wenshin's pen, throwing it to the side. She's lying to you, everything is her scheme. What are you talking about? She was the one who told me to sow discord between you and Shi Shujing, including making Stony Moon look for Shi Shujing. She was also the one who told me to do it. She used my mentality of wanting to snatch you back and manipulated me in the dark, destroying the relationship between you and Shi Shujing. Si Wenshin was furious. How could my sister do that? At first, I thought she did it for your own good. She didn't want you to anger your father, but later I found out that her goal was to make you and your father enemies so that she could become the CEO of Shangyang. When you were being suppressed by Shangyang, she was the one who bought the shares of Ocean Group like crazy, just to put you to death. And your father, he wouldn't be so ruthless, it's all her fault. Ceylon was a little anxious. Miss Tang, you need evidence to speak. Although I am against you and Wenshin being together, you can't frame me like this. I frame you? You have been using me. I was afraid that you would harm Wenshin, so I wanted to quit. It was you who threatened me in all kinds of ways. Not only did you scheme against Wenshin, but now even your father is locked up by you. Everything you have done is for Shangyang. You're talking nonsense. I didn't. Whether it is true or not, we will know when we go home. Si Wenshin couldn't believe his ears. Sister, is what she said true? Of course not. How can you suspect me for an outsider? I can swear, every word I said is true, can you? God is watching. You treat your family like this for your own interests. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Shut up. Wenshin, believe me, she was the one who came to me and made me do so many bad things, including your mother's car accident. I was also the one who caused your mother's car accident. At the same time, I arranged for Shi Shujing's accident to make your mother hate Shi Shujing. She is more vicious than a scorpion. She can do anything. Si Wenshin didn't want to believe what he had heard. He closed his eyes and clenched his fists tightly. Wenshin, don't listen to her nonsense. She is the one who drove a wedge between us. I didn't. Wenshin, believe me, you can't sign this agreement. Wenshin? When he opened his eyes again, Si Wenshin's eyes were indifferent, dead silent. He looked at Ceylon. His cold eyes made her shiver unconsciously. Wenshin, you don't believe her, do you? You are my sister. How can you do this to me? He slammed his fist on the table. I trusted you so much. I didn't think that you have been harming me. Wenshin, you don't really believe her, do you? Don't you know how I have treated you all these years? Our relationship is closer than real siblings. How could I harm my own brother? It is because you have been good to me that I am so disappointed. I can endure thousands of arrows piercing my heart, but I can't accept that the person who stabbed me in the heart was the person closest to me. There was a hint of pain in Si Wenshin's cold eyes. For the past 30 years you have been good to me. Have you been lying to me, using me? Have you been doing it for Shangyang? In your heart, has there ever been a moment when you have treated me as your own brother? Facing Si Wenshin's questioning, Ceylon knew that it was useless for her to argue. She didn't want to pretend in front of him anymore. After pretending for more than 30 years, she was really tired. At this moment, she finally took off her mask and smiled coldly. She gritted her teeth and said, "No, not even for a moment. Because my mother gave birth to me, my father despised her and chased her out of the house. After that, he married your mother and gave birth to you. Just because you are my son, my position in the family is even lower. Do you think that I would treat a bastard born by someone else as my brother? The moment you were born, when I held you, I wanted to strangle you to death. But that would be too easy on you. I let you live because I wanted to torture you in the future. But I was the one who was tortured first. After you were born, my father didn't treat me as a person. When you were sick, he was so anxious that he couldn't sleep for a few days and kept watch by your bedside. Do you remember? That time, when you had a fever of 38 degrees, I was taking care of you, but at that time I had a fever of 40 degrees. Dad knew, but he didn't care and asked me to stay with you. Chapter 300. I didn't know he would do that. Well, I'll pretend that you don't know, but the disasters I suffered were all caused by you. Later, when I grew up, he no longer beat me but let me work for Shangyang. At that time, I didn't want Shangyang at all. I tried to do the best in everything, worked hard just to get a compliment from him. Look, I was so stupid and pathetic at that time. But later, I found out that I couldn't get what I wanted. Because in his heart, he only had you as his son and I was just fighting for you. Do you know how much hatred and unwillingness I had in my heart? Why should I work for the person I hate the most? I want to live for myself. But in the end, I still lost and he kicked me out of the position of acting president. He said that I was ambitious, but I just wanted to get back what belonged to me. Was I wrong? Si Wenxin didn't expect that the brother and sister would eventually become enemies because of this. I said, I never wanted Shangyang. But even if it's something you don't want, he won't give it to me just because I'm a woman. I don't deserve it. The more I hate him, the more I hate you. I want to retaliate against you crazily and I want you to die. In front of you, I played the role of a good sister for more than 30 years. I'm very tired and I can finally say all the hidden words in my heart. Sister, I know you have suffered a lot. I will pretend that the past never happened. Let's start over. Impossible. Even if you are willing to let me go, the old man will not let me go. It's better to end it quickly. Silan suddenly took out a gun from her bag and pointed it at Si Wenxin. Tang Tang screamed in fear. Ah, the old man is so cruel to me, isn't it all for you? If you die, let's see who else can he give Shangyang to. Silan pulled the trigger. Wenxin, don't. At the last moment, Tang Tang rushed up and hugged Si Wenxin, using his back to block the bullet for him. What are you doing? Stop. The waiter ran over and Silan hurriedly ran away. Tang Tang's body slumped down from his body and Si Wenxin quickly supported her. Call an ambulance. Blood flowed all over his hand. Tang Tang, hold on. Look at me. Open your eyes and look at me. Wenxin, it's good that you're fine. I'm sorry. I did so many wrong things. I don't deserve to love you. Please forgive me, okay? Please, forgive me. Tang Tang shed tears of regret. I was really wrong. Try to hold on and I'll forgive you. Do you hear me? If you give up like this, I will never forgive you. Si Wenxin picked her up and rushed downstairs. Si Wenxin stayed in the hospital for 3 days after Sibo Hong was hospitalized. Although the father and son did not talk much, the relationship between them had gradually eased up. The nurse was taking Sibo Hong's temperature when Si Wenxin walked in with a bouquet of lilies in his hands. The nurse was stunned when she saw him, then quickly lowered her head with a red face. How's the situation? Well, everything is normal, much better than 2 days ago. Thank you, you can go ahead. Okay. Before leaving, the nurse could not help but sneak a glance at him. Sibo Hong pulled down his sleeves and Si Wenxin immediately covered him with a quilt. The weather is cold, do you want an extra quilt? No need, I'm in good health, I'm not afraid of the cold. He always liked to put up a strong front. Si Wenxin could not help but think of Sibo Hong's dying look that day, and his heart ached when he thought of it. Sibo Hong was much older than he thought, and he was really unfilial to him in the past. In the future he would definitely be filial to him. She found him? Yes. Where is she now? She's already in Australia and she won't come back. Sibo Hong sighed. I didn't expect that I raised such an ungrateful wolf and almost killed myself. Sister just couldn't get over it. When she gets there she'll slowly figure it out. She only has Shangyang in her heart, it would be strange if she could figure it out. This time I won't settle the score with her, just pretend that I don't have a daughter. Don't mention her, I get angry when I mention her. I heard that you're married to Shi Shujing? Don't think that I'll compromise. So what if I'm married? Just get a divorce. Dad, since we're married, I've never thought about getting a divorce. Shi Shujing and I are going to be together for the rest of our lives. You've just got married, it's too early to talk about a lifetime. In the future, who knows who you'll meet? Maybe there'll be someone better and you'll regret it. I've never thought that Shi Shujing is the best, but I love her, I only love her. Stupid. Stubborn. How can a man only love one woman? You're too idealistic. Are you sure your body can argue with me about this? Dad, I'm not begging you to accept Shi Shujing immediately, my only request is that you give her a chance. Just treat it as giving me a chance. We've been fighting for long enough and you've seen the results. Neither of us has benefited. After all this, I have to reflect on myself for not being filial to you in the past. I really don't have enough time to spend with you. In the future, I'll spend more time with my family. Shi Shujing is already 5 months pregnant, and she'll be giving birth in a few months. When that time comes, our family of 4 will definitely be very happy. These sweet words are useless to me. I haven't even accepted her, let alone the one in her stomach. Sibo Hong rolled his eyes. Even if it's our C families, what's the use if it's a daughter? Whether it's a daughter or a son, I like it the same. I hope it's a daughter more. A daughter is a father's sweet little jacket. What sweet little jacket? Now I'll show you a living example. A daughter is the most unreliable. That's because the way you treated my sister was wrong. You've been unfair to her from the start. I can understand the resentment in her heart that accumulated over time. If I had a daughter, I would definitely dote on her like a treasure. What's the use of a daughter? Can a daughter inherit the C family business? I don't need her to inherit the company. I just need her to be safe and healthy, to be carefree for the rest of her life, and to have someone who loves her. Sibo Hong shook his head. Ever since you met that woman, you've become more and more useless. A man's ambition is his career, while a woman can only stay at home and take care of a child. Do you understand? Times have changed now. You're too stubborn. Fine, I'm not going to argue with you. Is the child in her stomach a boy or a girl? Sibo Hong already had the intention to compromise. If it was a boy, he could consider accepting the child. As for Shi Shujing, he would just be a puppet. It didn't matter if she was one more. I don't know yet. I'll find out when she's born. Can't we see the gender now? If it's a daughter, then earlier. Si Wenqin frowned. I said it's the same for a son and a daughter. I prefer a daughter. Fine, I'm not going to argue with you. We'll talk when she's born. So you're saying that you've accepted Shi Shujing? I didn't say that, but she's 5 months old now. Can I still force her to have an abortion? What if something happens to her? Won't you fight me? I've already lost a daughter. I don't want to lose a son. You know, I'm very tired now. I don't want to care about anything. I just want to live a few peaceful days. During this period of time, I won't fight with you. We'll talk about it after the child is born. Although Sibo Hong didn't give in completely, he had already made a big concession. Si Wenqin's eyes lit up. Thank you, Dad. Don't thank me. I didn't do it willingly. It's just that I'm old and useless. I don't have the strength to fight with you anymore. Moreover, the older I get, the more I cherish family. You're my only family now. If I die in the future, someone has to send me off. Don't say that. You'll live to a ripe old age. I used to think that I was very strong. However, after this incident, I finally realized that I'm old and I have no choice but to accept my old age. However, everyone will grow old one day. Who can escape birth, old age, sickness, and death? I just hope that I'll be old and have less trouble. In the future, when I let go, I'll be satisfied with you and my grandson by my side. In the company of Si Wenqin, Sibo Hong quietly closed his eyes. His heart hadn't been so peaceful for a long time. Tang Tang's back was injured and he had a cast on it. It was difficult for him to move his upper body. He couldn't even reach the teacup on the table. Don't move. Let me do it. You? Tang Tang frowned when he saw Shi Shujing. His eyes were full of resistance and his tone was very rude. What are you doing here? To see you. Shi Shujing handed the teacup to her, but Tang Tang didn't take it. Are you here to see how miserable I am? No, I'm here to thank you. Thank you for saving him. I saved him, not you. Why should you thank me on his behalf? Do you know how ironic it sounds to me? I don't care what you think. In short, I'll be very grateful to anyone who saved Wenqin. Shi Shujing touched his stomach and his eyes were very gentle. Tang Tangyun hated this gentleness of hers, because gentleness represented contentment and happiness. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but feel sad for herself. She didn't regret taking the bullet for Si Wenqin. She just hoped that the man who took the bullet for her also loved her. Unfortunately, even if she died for him, he couldn't fall in love with her. At that time, he thought that he might as well just die. If she died, at least she could leave a place in his heart and make Shi Shujing jealous. I didn't expect that I would lose to you. Love is never a competition. If you think of it as a competition, then you've lost from the beginning. In fact, you don't lose to me in anything. You're prettier, more capable, and braver than me. I envy you a lot of times. Are you mocking me? I'm better than you in everything, but I lose to you in love? Chapter 301. Yes, I know. But I'm not willing to lose to an ordinary woman like you. In your eyes, I'm very ordinary, but in Wenshin's eyes, I'm the one and only. If you think that I can get his love without doing anything, then you're wrong. I've also done a lot for him and changed a lot for him. Along the way we've gone through a lot of hardships. Until now, I've suffered a lot and suffered a lot. Those are things that you may not be able to imagine. So, it's not that I don't have any merits. It's just that you have your own perspective and you can't see it. No matter what you say, I still think that you're not worthy of him. It doesn't matter what you think. The most important thing is that Wenshin believes that I'm his one and only. Tang Tang was silent. Indeed, she had lost miserably on this point. So what if she had tried her best? If Si Wenshin didn't love her, then he didn't love her. All of a sudden she became very desperate. You don't have to be so sad. Actually, not everyone you love can accompany you to the end. There are many people who are just passers-by. They will only accompany you for a short period of time before you meet the one you are destined to be with. Just like I used to think that Qin Baiyuan was my life, but later when I met Wenshin, I realized that I was really stupid to be so stubborn. If I only have Qin Baiyuan in my heart, then won't I miss him? How regretful I will be. So, believe me, you will definitely meet someone who really understands you and loves you. At that time, when you look back, you will feel that you're so stupid now. If I say this, you may think that I'm hypocritical. But I'm just saying this to you as a person who has been stupid for love before. You cannot believe it now, but in the future, when you meet that person, you will definitely believe what I say. Living with evil thoughts in your heart, you will always be afraid and you will be very tired. So, isn't it better to let yourself live a little easier? During this period, I'm also very tired. It's only now that I'm really relieved. Let yourself go, you deserve better. Maybe not better, but definitely more suitable for you. Tang Tang hated Shi Shujing, but he couldn't deny that what Shi Shujing said made sense. Actually, who didn't know that getting caught in one's own trap would never end well? She had done everything she could, including things that went against her conscience. Being driven by hatred to live was indeed very tiring. He was no longer as carefree as when he was a war reporter. Sometimes, when she looked at herself in the mirror, she couldn't help but ask, who was this scary woman? Was he still the loving Tang Tang from before? He had become so scary that even she hated him. Trapped in a hopeless relationship, it was easy for a woman to become narrow-minded. Therefore, she should return to the battlefield to see that smoke-filled world, to see the other side of this world. Perhaps it was cruel, but she could report it and let the world see that there were still some people who were suffering. That was her duty-bound mission. Once I've recovered, I'll return to England and the battlefield to continue being a reporter. Yes, that's very suitable for you. You've always been an ambitious girl, and this is what I admire the most about you. Don't let a relationship destroy you. I don't want to listen to you talk about these principles. That's my passion, and it has nothing to do with you. Shi Shujing, even if I give up on Wenshin, I will never forgive you for stealing him. You think that now, but maybe you won't think that way in a different environment. Wenshin will also become less important. No matter what, I hope that everything will go well for you in the future, and I hope that you can meet the person who treats you sincerely. Outside the window, the sun was shining and everything was beautiful. Tang Tang couldn't help but think that after the harsh winter, her spring would also come, and she would start a new life. Shi Shujing left the hospital and saw Qin Baiyuan getting out of the car. Why are you here? You left a scarf behind last time, so I came to return it to you. He handed the paper bag to her. It's very cold today, put it on. Thank you. It's just a scarf, there's no need to specially send it over. Qin Baiyuan knew that he just wanted to see her more. Now that all the suffering was over, he no longer had a reason to protect her. In the future there might be very few opportunities for them to meet. Therefore he always wanted to see her more, wanted to say goodbye to her properly. Congratulations, the day has finally come. Yes. It's not easy, Shi Shujing shrugged and narrowed her eyes, her face beaming with a smile. But at least I persevered. Perseverance will definitely be rewarded as long as I believe in this relationship. Yes, you're a strong girl. Shi Shujing wagged his finger playfully. I'm not a girl now, I'm a strong mommy now. Yes. I heard that Blue Sky situation is slowly improving. Yes. Ocean Group has helped a lot behind the scenes, thanks Si Wenshin for me. It should be us thanking you. I can't repay what you've done for me in this lifetime. There's no need to thank me, you're treating me like an outsider. My biggest wish now is for you to be happy and well. Although I'm an ex-husband, I'm also your family. If he bullies you, you can look for me, I'll teach him a lesson for you. I don't think there'll be such a chance. Hey, can you give me some face? Alright. If I'm bullied, you must help me vent my anger. Okay, leave it to me. Qin Baiyuan looked at the happy smile on her face and knew that he should let go completely. Although he was still reluctant, he knew that he had to cut it off. Can I hug you? Shi Shujing nodded. Qin Baiyuan held her in his arms, his movements very gentle. This hug was without any desire, just a warm hug between family members, so warm that it made Shi Shujing feel at ease. Thank you, Qin Baiyuan. I wish you happiness, you must be happy. I will, you too. After the two of them let go, Shi Shujing saw Si Wenqin waiting for her by the car. There was no displeasure on his face. He smiled, his face full of tolerance and doting. Her man was tall and straight, with the most domineering face in the world, and the most gentle heart in the world, the most love. The moment they looked at each other, the tide of happiness almost gushed out from the tip of Shi Shujing's heart. Qin Baiyuan silently watched Shi Shujing walk to him. He lowered his head, kissed her forehead, tightened her coat for her, and pinched her face, his eyes full of love. Just as she said, maybe he would never have the chance to stand up for her in this life. Ah, this was for the best. He hoped that she would be happy forever and not suffer any grievances. Their figures were bathed in the sunlight, gradually walking away and finally disappeared from his sight. Qin Baiyuan lowered his head and smiled. Goodbye, Shi Shujing. On the tree-lined path, the tall man held his petite wife in his arms and walked slowly. It's Christmas in 2 days. Shi Shujing said. Yes. A year has passed so fast. Yes. Although it's fast, I've gained something. Do you still remember when we first met? I mean this year. The first time I met you, you saved me. At that time, I never thought that this man would become my husband, the person who would accompany me for the rest of my life. I didn't expect it either, but life is so wonderful. You never know what will happen in the next moment. Will the person you meet be your lifelong partner? Yes. So, this is the best thing in life. I'm looking forward to it. Are you going to start the wedding now? Shi Shujing shook his head. I'm so fat, I don't look good in a wedding dress. Let's wait until the baby is born and I lose weight. Okay. I'll give you a grand wedding and let the whole world know that you, Shi Shujing, are the wife of Si Wenqin. I wanted to keep a low profile, but after hearing what you said, my vanity was aroused. Then let's make it as grand as possible. I also want to hear other women scold me. What's so great about me? I'm just a little beautiful, have a good figure, and have a rich husband who loves her. I'm so happy just thinking about it. Si Wenqin pinched her nose. I didn't know you were so vain. Isn't it because you spoil me? Who told you to spoil me so much? What? Do you regret it? Of course not. I'll use my life to spoil you until you become unruly and arrogant. In the future, if someone asks you why, you can say it's because your husband spoils you. Shi Shujing's words were sweeter than honey. Honey, I love you so much. I love you too, wife. He lowered his head and covered her lips. Under the warm sunlight, he kissed her. Their kisses intertwined with each other. 5 years later, in the middle of summer. In the Si family's courtyard house, the sun shone through the gaps between the green leaves and swayed on the ground. The cicadas stretched out their throats and called out, "Cicada, cicada." It was a hot afternoon, but it was also an afternoon full of life. The green in the courtyard made people feel so beautiful. On the grass, a 5-year-old boy was blowing bubbles. He was wearing a pair of denim overalls and a cap. His face was pink, but his nose was very straight. He looked like a handsome little prince. With just a glance, one would be attracted by those clear black and white eyes. Sibo Hong sat on a chair at the side and watched his precious grandson play with a smile. He played with him for half an hour. Although he was tired, he was very happy and in high spirits. 5 years ago, when Shi Shujing gave birth, he had been guarding outside the ward. In the end, it turned out to be a boy and he was overjoyed. Watching his little grandson grow up day by day and become more and more adorable day by day, he had never been more satisfied. He didn't want to care about the scheming in the business world. He just wanted to accompany his cute little grandson all day long. In order to see him every day, he asked Si Wenqin and his wife to move into the Si family home. Out of love for his little grandson, he slowly accepted Shi Shujing. Si Wenqin watched for a while at the door, then waved for Si Qin to come over. "Daddy, Play bubbles with Chen. Daddy, there's something more fun. What is it? His big black eyes were full of anticipation. This year's latest game console, do you like it? Chapter 302. Wow. Game console great. Chen loves it the most. Chen excitedly reached out his hand, but Wen hid it behind him. If you promise Daddy one thing, Daddy will give you the game console. Chen nodded. Look, you've already slept with Mommy for a few days, isn't it time to return Mommy to Daddy? If you sleep alone for a week, Daddy will give you the console, okay? Wen had already planned for his own happiness. When necessary he would threaten and bribe his precious son. Chen hesitated. But Chen wants to sleep with Mommy. A man should sleep alone. But Chen is still a kid. That's still a little man. This game has the world's most difficult maze, don't you like mazes? Wow, the world's most difficult maze, Chen likes it. Then, do you want to trade? Wen waved it in front of him. Chen hesitated for a few seconds, then finally nodded. Good son. Wen gave the game to Chen, thinking that he could finally monopolize his little wife tonight. When this brat grew up, he would steal his woman every day. Poor him, he could only sleep in the children's room, it was too cruel. Wen sat on the sofa, crossed his legs, reading the newspaper, happily thinking about which outfit Shujing would wear tonight. Unfortunately, his sweet dream didn't last long before Chen ran over. Here, Daddy, I'll return the console to you, give me back Mommy. You don't want to play anymore? I solved it. Wen almost vomited blood. The world's most difficult maze, you solved it in 15 minutes? Even if his son inherited his genes, isn't his intelligence a bit too scary? That's right. Daddy, are you lying to me? Such a simple maze, how can you say it's the world's most difficult, so boring? Wen held the console, feeling very depressed. That won't do. We agreed that I would give you the game console and you would give your Mommy to me. Yeah, but I've returned the game console to you. But the terms of exchange are still valid. Daddy, it's like this. When you give me the game console, Mommy, I'll give it to you. But now, I don't want the game console anymore. Mommy is mine. Daddy, don't bully a kid just because you're 40 years old. Now it looks more like you're acting shamelessly. Chen didn't go back on her word. Oh, even if she did, Daddy, haven't you heard of the phrase, all's fair in war? Who taught you this idiom? Uncle Qin. Qin Baiyuan. Wen gritted his teeth. He knew that he shouldn't have shown kindness and let them meet. What else did he teach you? Uncle Qin taught me a lot, like how to pick up girls and how to make girls happy. Chen made Mommy so happy. Uncle Qin is too awesome. Wen grabbed the little person and asked sourly. Is he better or am I better? In terms of picking up girls, Uncle Qin is better. Chen, I think you want to get beaten up. Wen pressed little Chen on his lap and was about to beat his butt. Chen cried out loudly. Grandpa, save me. Daddy is hitting Chen. In less than 3 seconds, Sibo Hong ran over angrily. You actually dare to hit my precious grandson? Who gave you the authority? As he spoke, he raised his dragon-headed walking stick and was about to hit Wen. Dad, I'm also your precious son. Right now, I only have one precious son and that's my grandson. You dare to hit my flesh and blood, I think you're asking for a beating? Sibo Hong held his walking stick and chased Wen around the hall. When Wen saw his son cheering at his misfortune, he felt like dying. Now in this family, Chen was the treasure of the whole family, and he had completely fallen out of favor. Even if he was an old man in his 40s, he still needed to be doted on, okay? How could he treat him like this? Too heartless. Wen suffered a beating and his mentality was extremely unbalanced. He made up his mind to occupy Shujing tonight, even if he had to be a hooligan. At night, when Chen was not around, Wen sneaked into the bedroom. Wife, I got beaten up today. Shujing was wearing cream on her face. Apparently, she was used to such complaints. She smiled and said, You bullied Chen again and got beaten up by Dad? When did I bully him? Now it's my son bullying me, okay? You don't know how cunning he is, he's simply a little devil. His obedient appearance is all an act in front of you. In front of me it's completely different. When Wen told him about the game console, Shujing almost collapsed from laughing. No matter how I hear it, I feel like you're bullying your son. Your son did the right thing. How is that possible? I gave him the game console and regardless of whether he finished playing it or not, he should have given you to me. He's being shameless, you can't let him. You're the one being shameless, right? They all say that men are more mature and responsible when they become fathers, but you're the complete opposite. You're even more childish than your son. I don't even want to scold you. You deserve to be hit by dad. Si Wunshin immediately cupped his chest and pretended to be hurt. Even you're helping the little devil. As expected, I've fallen out of favor in this family. I don't have my position anymore, so I might as well run away from home. Okay, when no one comes to find you, you can come back yourself. Don't say it's embarrassing. You really don't want to find me? I have to take care of Chenshin, I don't have time. And now that Ocean Group has merged with Shangyang, shouldn't you have a lot of things to do? Why do you still have time to fight for favor with your son? No matter how busy I am, my wife is the most important. Si Wunshin was tempted to make a move as he looked at his lovely wife. Honey, we've been sleeping in separate rooms for 8 days. Do you know how I've survived these 8 days? He hugged her from behind, his thin lips caressing the side of her neck. It's been too hard. I've been thinking about you all the time, so much that my hands are sore. Shi Shujing raised an eyebrow. Stop fooling around. I'm not fooling around. I know you must miss me too. Si Wunshin kissed her fragrant neck, slowly moving down to her collarbone, where the beautiful curve was faintly discernible. His big hands also wandered over her body. Honey, so soft, so fragrant. Shi Shujing gently pushed him away. Wunshin, you. He didn't allow her to say more. Honey, it's just the two of us tonight. Shi Shujing could only put her arms around his neck under his gentle attack and let him press her down on the bed. Just when the two of them were kissing passionately, Mommy, mommy. Knock, knock, knock. Si Wunshin was so depressed that he wouldn't stop no matter what and kissed her even more deeply. Chinchin is calling me? He wouldn't stop or let go of her. It's okay, the door is closed, he can't come in. Knock, knock. Mommy, what are you doing inside? Mommy, Chinchin misses you. The childish voice of a child made Shi Shujing anxious. Our son said he misses me. He didn't care. His wife seemed to be more important than his son. He's already 4.5 years old and he doesn't want to drink milk. Why does he keep pestering you? Si Wunshin's eyes were burning. He doesn't want to drink milk, but I do. Shi Shujing was speechless. You are annoying. Tonight, I won't let you go no matter what. I want to get back at you for those 8 days. Si Wunshin took off his shirt as he spoke. His actions were slow and unhurried like a wolf. Shi Shujing was completely defenseless. She was still a little worried about the little thing outside the door. But, our son? Don't worry about our son. Tonight you're mine. The CEO of Wild Wolf smiled evilly. Honey, tonight you can't escape. His protest was blocked by his domineering lips, and he couldn't hear the voice outside the door anymore. Si Wunshin knocked for a long time, but the door didn't open. She pouted strangely. Does mommy not love me anymore? Sibo Hong walked over. Chinchin, why are you standing at the door alone? Daddy is bullying mommy, why don't you let mommy open the door? How do you know that your daddy is bullying mommy? Mommy keeps calling me don't. 3 black lines appeared on Si Bai Hong's forehead. Let's go first, Grandpa will take you to bed tonight. But Chinchin wants to sleep with mommy. Grandpa will tell you a story. Really? Chinchin wants to hear a story. The old and young left hand in hand, and the atmosphere in the room was full of love. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and the bustling city was operating in an orderly manner. Everyone was playing their own role. The sun shone on the skyscrapers and they rose into the clouds, making people feel excited. Qin Baiyuan stood on the top floor of Blue Sky, drinking his first cup of coffee of the morning. After working hard for the past 3 months without rest, and with the help from Ocean Group, Blue Sky finally got through the crisis and everything returned to normal. Only he knew how hard the past 3 months were. But it also made him feel as if he was reborn and he became a new Qin Baiyuan. The secretary knocked on the door and entered. When she saw the tall and straight figure in the sunlight, she couldn't help but feel her heart skip a beat. The current CEO had lost his youthful frivolity and impetuousness, and he became more charming and mature than ever. Qin Baiyuan faced the window, and his entire face was bathed in the sunlight. He gently closed his eyes. Shi Shujing, how good would it be if you were by my side at this time? But I know you must be silently watching me. Seeing me now, you will be happy for me, right? There was regret. But Qin Baiyuan's heart was very calm. There was no desire, only ambition in his career. Within 3 years he must expand the scale of Blue Sky to 5 times its current size. He wanted Blue Sky to become the most outstanding leading enterprise in the industry, and he wanted everyone to look at the Qin family in a new light. After the secretary reported the daily work, he said, "Young Master Lin and young Master Chu have an appointment with you tonight. 11 o'clock at the Imperial Nightclub." "I know." Qin Baiyuan signed his name in a flourish and returned the document to the secretary. Chapter 303. Child Lin and Child Chu were Qin Baiyuan's former bad friends. After Blue Sky's accident, he asked them for help, but they all found excuses and refused to see him. It was not until Blue Sky came back to life that they called him brother and said that they had been helping him before. If it was Qin Baiyuan's temper in the past, he would definitely break off the relationship with them. But now, he learned to endure and also learned to put on a mask in the business world. Since they were no longer friends, he would use the business method. In the business world, there were no eternal enemies, but there were eternal interests. As long as there was cooperation, he could still call them brothers. Nightclub. Qin Baiyuan swirled the coffee cup with his fingertips, and some scenes of drunkenness and extravagance flashed in front of his eyes, as if it had already happened in the last century. In the coffee shop downstairs of Blue Sky, the 20-year-old girl Yi Yin was worried about her livelihood, holding her cheeks and looking at the street outside the glass window. This was the most prosperous area of the whole city, and everyone looked smug and well-dressed. She always fantasized that she could be one of them. But that was too difficult because she was poor. Sorry, I'm late." Qin Meichi hurried over. "Have you waited for a long time?" "No, it's only half an hour," Yin said in a good temper. "I just finished a show and it's far from here and there was a traffic jam on the road. How about it? Are the costumes ready for the night?" "I won't go tonight." "You won't go? Why not?" At the thought of the mixed environment of nightclubs, Yin was full of resistance. I hate it. But who really likes it? Isn't it for money? Think about it, the money you earn after working hard for a week is not as much as dancing in a nightclub. How easy it is. The Imperial Palace has such high requirements that some people don't even have a chance to dance. Your grandma is hospitalized and the monthly medical expenses are so high. If you don't dance, how can you pay? But every time she asks me where I work, I don't know what to say. I feel so guilty. What's there to feel guilty about? You were just dancing there, not selling yourself. The money we earn is all from dancing. It's clean. But that place is too complicated. I'm afraid I'll sink deeper and deeper. You're just too naive. Qin Meichi shook her head. I know you're still a student and haven't seen much of the world, so you're always afraid of this and that. But look at me, I've been dancing in the nightclub for a few years and I'm still clean. Have you ever heard of the phrase, unsullied by the mud? As long as you don't want to become bad, no one can change you. Yin shook her head again. I really don't want to jump down there. Something will happen sooner or later. Then let's dance one last time tonight. My eyelids have been twitching today. I have a bad feeling that something bad is going to happen tonight. Qin Meichi smiled. How can a young man like you be so superstitious? Don't worry, I'm here to protect you. Nothing will happen. Rest in peace. Think about the $500. Yin didn't want to go, but $500 was enough to pay for her grandmother's medical expenses for a week. Considering this, she had to compromise. At 11 o'clock in the evening, the nightclub was at its busiest. The dazzling lights in the hall swept wildly, and men and women twisted their bodies in the music, indulging in sensual pleasure. In the middle of the stage, a girl in a leopard print skirt was pole dancing, which made the audience's blood boil. Backstage, Yin looked at herself in the mirror with heavy makeup, almost unrecognizable. She felt that she had not only changed into another body but also another soul. She was no longer herself. Meichi said that the environment couldn't change a person, but she thought it could. This nightclub was constantly corroding her soul, because here she saw all kinds of filth and promiscuity, which devoured the good and beautiful side of human nature. Therefore she had to leave this place and leave this place. It's the last night. I'll be free after holding on, she said to herself in the mirror. Okay, it's time to go on stage. Mama Sang urged. Yin, Qin Meichi and several other girls went on the stage together. There were many men around the stage. They were like lambs in a pack of wolves, being glanced at by all kinds of greedy eyes. If eyes could take off people's clothes, they would have been naked now. When the music started, they danced to the music. Their sexy bodies and ambiguous eyes made the blood of the men below the stage boil, as if they were on drugs. A man suddenly rushed up from below the stage and hugged Yi Yin's leg. She was so scared that she screamed. Fortunately, the bodyguards dragged him away. Looking at the crazy world in front of her, she felt that a group of monsters had been released from the gates of hell. Each of them had a ferocious face, and they were opening their bloody mouths to swallow her. Several men came in through the door, escorted by bodyguards. Yin didn't know why her eyes were attracted by the man in the middle. Not only because he stood in the middle but also because he was different from the others. In her eyes, those people were all wearing masks of monsters, but he had a human face. Outstanding and eye-catching. In this place she had seen too many handsome men, but he was definitely the most handsome one. He was a man who could cause the downfall of a country, and he was breathtakingly handsome. The colorful lights swept over his face, creating a mysterious and dangerous atmosphere. When his eyes met hers in midair, Yin suddenly felt a shock that reached her heart. She avoided his eyes in a panic and danced a few wrong steps. "Qin Baiyuan, why don't you go?" Young Master Lin stopped and looked in the direction of his eyes. "Yo, who do you like? I'll ask her to serve you." Qin Baiyuan's eyes stayed for a few seconds, and then he looked away indifferently. "Now let's go." They entered the private room, and Lin Zitsong and Chu He asked a few girls to accompany them. All of them hugged women on their left and right, and their hands touched the women's bodies. Qin Baiyuan sat on the left and right of two women, and they fought to please him, but he was unmoved and only drank. He used to love to come to such places, but now it made him feel irritated. A face flashed in front of him. It was the dancer from earlier. Somehow he noticed her at a glance. Perhaps it was because she was not like the other dancers who flirted and teased men. She looked a little unwilling, and her eyes were filled with grievance, as if she was complaining about the unfairness of fate. Involuntary? He actually felt a sense of sympathy for her. In this world, how many people were not involuntary and were not pushed by fate? "Qin Baiyuan, why are you only drinking? You're neglecting the beauty?" Lin Zitsong joked. "Could it be that you haven't been to the nightclub for a long time, and you don't know how to play?" "That's right, you were the one who brought me here to play. At that time you were like a madman." Qin Baiyuan smiled faintly. Being with them was nothing more than socializing. His body was here, but his mind wasn't here at all. "What's wrong?" Lin Zitsong pushed the beauty away and sat next to him, and put his arms around his neck like a brother. "Could it be that you can't do it anymore?" F***ck off. "Could it be that you've been hurt?" "That's true. You used to despise that old woman in your family the most. I didn't expect her to be with Mr. C, and she even betrayed and dumped you. If it were me, I would be embarrassed too." A cold light flashed in Qin Baiyuan's eyes and he clenched the glass. But Lin Zitsong continued to speak recklessly. "I think she's really not that good looking. I don't know what Mr. C sees in her. Good in bed? Good in martial arts, but it's also because you taught her. This is called the predecessor planting trees for the posterity to enjoy the shade. Mr. C should thank you. I think he's just looking for novelty. Men are all despicable. They always think that others are the best and want to snatch it. But once they get it, they won't care about it anymore. When the time comes, you can just kick her away and vent your anger." "That's right. Don't give up a forest for a tree. You often don't come out to play, so you must be trapped. Now that you're back, there will be a lot of hot girls waiting for you. At that time, you won't even know who Shi Shujing is." "Ah." Chu-He laughed wildly. Qin Baiyuan's face was gloomy. "If you don't speak, I won't treat you two as mutes." Only then did Lin Zitsong smell the danger and shut his mouth sensibly. It's just a joke. Don't take it seriously. We're all good brothers. I'm just trying to comfort you and make you happy." Qin Baiyuan wanted to say that they were really good brothers. When the Qin family was in trouble, they wouldn't hide from him. It was ridiculous to call him good brothers now. They didn't even feel embarrassed. However, in his eyes now they were two dirty maggots. It would be an insult to himself to argue with them. Qin Baiyuan drank a glass of wine, and his whole body exuded a cold aura. Lin Zitsong whispered in Chu-He's ear. "He seems to have taken a fancy to a dancer just now. I'll get her for him." Finally, after a dance, Yin couldn't wait to run off the stage. There were a few men pestering her, but she managed to find a way to avoid them. The dance was paid through the bank. Therefore, as soon as Yin returned backstage, she wanted to change her clothes and leave, but Mama Sang came to stop her. "Don't go first." "What's wrong? Didn't I finish the dance?" Yin was very vigilant. Being stopped at this time was usually not a good thing. Moreover, her eyelids had been twitching all night. Once something happened, she would be as nervous as a bird startled by the twang of a bow. "Let me tell you a piece of good news. Young Master Lin has taken a fancy to you and wants you to drink with him." "Young Master Lin? Which young Master Lin?" It's Lin Zitsong, the crown prince of Imperial City Real Estate. Don't you know him? Yin shook her head. I don't know him. Chapter 304. It sounded tempting, but Yi knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch. If she wanted that 100,000 yuan, she would have to sacrifice the most important thing, so she shook her head. I'm not going. Are you stupid? It's so much money that some people can't earn it even if they want to. Didn't Meichi say that you were short of money? But I don't want to trade my body for it. I'm just a dancer. I don't sell my body. You can't figure it out. Doing it once or twice, isn't it the same? There was still money to be collected. Don't be so stubborn. Hurry up and dress up. Don't let young Master Lin wait for too long. Sorry, I can't do it. Yin didn't even want to change her clothes and was about to leave, but two bodyguards blocked her way. You're refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. If I tell you to go, you have to go. I'm not one of you. You have no right to force me. In this society, who cares about power? I'm only talking to you about money. You can go if you want to, but you have to go even if you don't want to. I'm not going. Let me go. Let me go. Yin struggled with all her might, but the two bodyguards were so tall that she couldn't push them away. Don't waste your strength. If you don't go today, don't even think about walking out of this door alive. Yin's face paled. The nightclub was the dirtiest place. The people there were cruel and merciless, and they could do anything. If he fought them head-on, he would definitely be at a disadvantage. He might as well agree with them first and then find a chance to escape. With that in mind, she had no choice but to relent for now. I know I'll go. Madame Sang had been watching over Yin as she touched up her makeup. Then, she personally sent her to the private room and instructed the two bodyguards to guard the door and not let her escape. As the door closed behind her, Yin felt as if she had been pushed into an abyss. There were more than 10 people sitting in the private room. They were all escorts, and there were 3 men in the middle. One look at their clothes and you could tell that they were rich. 2 of the men looked at her maliciously. Only the one in the middle had a cold expression. His face was expressionless and there was no desire in his eyes. Was him. It was the only human face among Oxhead and Horseface. She didn't expect him to be this kind of person. Yin couldn't help but laugh at herself. Did she understand him? What made them think that he was different from them? How many of those who came to this place were good men? Why are you still standing here? Come here quickly. Lin Zitsong grabbed Yin's hand. Oh, your hands are so soft. Your skin is so soft and tender. It's so comfortable to touch. Qin Baiyuan, this is the person you fancied just now, right? I've brought it to you. Just take it as an apology for what I said just now. Lin Zitsong pushed Yin to the side of Qin Baiyuan, and the ladies who were pushed away stared at her jealously. This is our young master Qin, serve him well? Yin sat next to him uneasily, not knowing what to do. She only felt that his body smelled very good, a kind of musk mixed with a strong masculine scent, making her feel slightly dizzy. Of course, what made her even more dizzy was that breathtaking face. Are you a piece of wood? Do you only know how to sit still? I only know how to dance, I don't know how to drink with people. Yin said uneasily. I don't care what you do, just drink when I tell you to. Lin Zitsong poured a full glass of whiskey and stuffed it into her hand. Drink. Young Master Lin, cut the crap, do you want to get beaten up? Yin had no choice but to bite the bullet and drink it. She had never drunk alcohol before, and it was so spicy that her throat hurt and felt like it was on fire. She stopped a few times in the middle, and in the end she was forced to finish the glass. Cough, 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 cough. She coughed until tears were coming out, but not only did they not have any sympathy, they kept laughing. What a bunch of beasts. Qin Baiyuan thought to himself, lit a cigarette and put it in his mouth. Do you know how to play dice? Me? Yin shook her head. No. Rock, paper, scissors? No. Then what do you know? I know how to sing. Sing a song. Young Master Qin gave a look, and Lin Zitsong hurriedly passed the microphone to Yin. Look, our young Master Qin's heart is aching. He really knows how to cherish women. At this time, the song changed to Mo Wenwei's He Doesn't Love Me, and Yin happened to know how to sing it, so she sang it. I know he doesn't love me. His eyes say his heart. I see through his heart. And the back view of others lingering. His memories are not clean enough. After drinking some alcohol, her hoarse voice sounded like she was weeping and complaining, and the song went straight into Qin Baiyuan's heart. He felt that this song was singing about his feelings for Shi Shujing. Every word was like a needle piercing into his heart, making him feel uncomfortable. He couldn't help but drink a few mouthfuls of alcohol, and his temples tightened. I see his heart, it's all about him and her. He doesn't love me. Even so, he still won my heart. I know he doesn't love me. His eyes say his heart. I see through his heart. And the back view of others lingering. His memories are not clean enough. Bang! A glass was smashed against the wall, breaking into pieces. That's enough, stop singing. Qin Baiyuan suddenly roared angrily. Yin was so scared that she didn't know what to do. Lin Zizong's expression also changed. He pulled Yin up and gave her a hard slap. You unlucky thing, how dare you make our young Master Qin unhappy? You're courting death. As he spoke, he gave Yin a few more slaps. The force of the slaps knocked her out. That's enough. Qin Baiyuan rushed up and grabbed his hand. Looking at the unconscious Yin with red marks on her face, his heart ached slightly and he carried her up. Lin Zizong was afraid of making him unhappy, so he trembled. Young Master Qin. Qin Baiyuan didn't even look at him, and directly left the room with Yin in his arms. There was a hotel above the nightclub. Qin Baiyuan booked a room, kicked the door open and put Yin on the bed. He was irritated by the song she sang and he tore his tie. He wanted to leave her alone, but when he saw the slap marks on her face, he couldn't bear to do it, so he got a basin of ice water to wipe her face. Hiss! Yin woke up from the pain and looked at him in a daze. Don't move. He carefully applied an ice pack on her and his face was very close. When he breathed, a gust of hot air drilled into Yin's nose. It was as if some insects had drilled into her body and it was very itchy. Her body started to heat up and she couldn't control it. The heat drilled from the soles of her feet to her brain, and her whole body felt like it was boiling in hot water, getting hotter and hotter. I'm so hot. Large beads of sweat broke out on her forehead. She wriggled her body and grabbed his hand. I'm hot. I'm hot. Qin Baiyuan frowned. The temperature in the room was very low, and she was applying an ice pack. How could she feel hot? Could it be that Lin Zizong put something in her wine? Damn it. Qin Baiyuan cursed. Yin arched her body and stuck to him. I'm hot. Help me. It's so hot. Her eyes were already blurred by the tears of desire. She looked a little embarrassed but strangely charming, like a charming fairy. Qin Baiyuan originally wanted to take her to take a cold shower, but the moment his hand touched her, Yin wrapped around his body like an octopus. Don't leave me. Her body wriggled helplessly and she kept rubbing against him. Qin Baiyuan drank the wine and for a moment he was very excited, panting heavily. Damn it, don't move. But Yin was already dominated by her desire. She didn't know what she was doing. Her burning hot hands held his face, and her fiery lips pressed in, squeezing as much as she could into his mouth. An impulse rushed into Qin Baiyuan's brain. The taste between her lips and teeth was actually so sweet. He was like a traveler in the desert who had been thirsty for many days. When he saw a spring, he instinctively drank it like crazy. He pressed the back of her head and deepened the kiss. The desire that he had endured for a few months completely burst at this moment. Qin Baiyuan didn't care who the person below him was. He could only rely on his body's instinct to push her down on the bed. Dry firewood was like a raging fire. The hot night burned crazily. The next day, when Yin regained some consciousness, she only felt that her body was very painful. It was as if she had been repeatedly crushed by a heavy object countless times. She was sore, painful, and powerless. She slowly lifted her heavy eyelids and looked around the unfamiliar and luxurious room. Where was this? Why was she so tired? Ouch. It hurts? Yin suddenly felt as if she was struck by lightning. She hurriedly pulled the quilt. Her body was naked and covered with bruises. It was a horrible sight to look at. Could it be that last night, Calm down. She tried to comfort herself that she didn't reach the last step. However, on the snow-white bedsheet, that glaring scarlet was an inescapable nightmare. A charming scene appeared in front of her eyes. That woman, was it really her? It hurts. The feeling of being torn in half was still very clear. Hua hua hua, the sound of the bathroom water stopped. A man wrapped in a bath towel walked out of the bathroom. The sunlight was dazzling. When their eyes met, the hatred in Yi Yin's eyes was as sharp as a knife. You're shameless. She grabbed a pillow and threw it at him. Qin Baiyuan tilted his head to avoid it and slowly walked over. What are you doing so early in the morning? You're forcing me. I'm forcing you? Qin Baiyuan looked like he was listening to a joke as he coldly twitched the corner of his mouth. Are you kidding me? Even if you're forcing me, you should be the one forcing me. Last night, you were the one who took the initiative. You were the one who kissed me first and begged me to take you. I can't do that. You were drugged. How is that impossible? However, even if you don't take the medicine, you can still do it just because of my face. You drugged me? I wasn't the one who drugged you. It was Lin Zizong. Qin Baiyuan sat on the sofa, crossed his legs and puffed out a cloud of smoke. Last night she cried in pain. Her face was colorful like a palette. He felt that it was ugly, so he removed her makeup. He didn't expect her to be so beautiful without makeup. Her skin was crystal clear and delicate. To the touch, it was as soft as tofu. Chapter 305. You guys are in cahoots. You guys conspired to drug me and then rape me. You bunch of bandits, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you until you go to jail. Qin Baiyuan squinted his long and narrow eyes, like an elegant fox. He slowly blew a smoke ring at her. Sue me? Do you have any evidence? Since when is bringing a prostitute to the dance considered strong? I'm not a prostitute, I'm still a student. So what? There are more students in this line of work. Or are you looking for a higher price? I don't want your stinky money. I'm only here to dance and was forced to drink by you guys, and Yi Yin's eyes were even redder than a rabbit's. You bunch of spoiled brats, you just rely on your family's money to do evil. Has your conscience been eaten by dogs? Since you know, why are you asking me? Isn't it obvious? Qin Baiyuan just wanted to make her angry. He knew that she was harmed by Lin Zizong. Last night was her first time, which proved that she was still very pure and not that kind of woman. But he really couldn't stand to hear her scolding him. Since she thought that he was that kind of person, then he would use that kind of identity to piss her off. You want to sue me for rape? Don't say that you don't have any evidence. Even if you do, who would dare to meddle in my affairs, Qin Baiyuan's? His attitude was insufferably arrogant, which made Yi Yin so angry that she wanted to hack him into pieces. But what he said was the reality. This cruel society was full of injustice. How many girls were mercilessly harmed by people like him, yet they couldn't seek justice and lived in pain for the rest of their lives. Even if the law can't punish you but God is watching, you'll get your retribution. I don't believe in retribution, I only believe in myself. Don't say that you raped me last night. Even if I really raped you, even if I killed you, what can you do? You're inverting right and wrong. You're the one who doesn't have self-respect. A girl who has self-respect wouldn't go to that kind of place to dance and wouldn't get into trouble. If I want to do anything to you, you have to give me a chance, right? Do you think I want that? Isn't it all for the money? You just want me to give you more money after taking such a big detour. Tell me, how much do you want? 100,000? 1 million? 10 million? Yi Yin gritted her teeth in hatred. I want your life. I will pull out your tendons, peel off your skin, and drink your blood. Didn't you almost take my life last night? It's so tight, it's so comfortable, yet you're still so passionate. You? Shut up. It seems like you have the same feeling as me? I believe that your passion is not the effect of drugs. You are a passionate little vixen, am I right? Qin Baiyuan's face did not even blush as he said those explicit words. I'm not. You are despicable and shameless. You say that I don't know how to love myself. You really know how to play the blame game. I'm just dancing to earn money. I'm innocent and clean. How can I not have self-respect? Then tell me, do those men want to see you dance, or do they want to see you flirt, or do they want to see you bare your skin? If you wrap yourself up tightly, no matter how well you dance, will they watch? To put it bluntly, you understand men's psychology very well, and you also know what men want. In that kind of situation, they naturally won't use their pure eyes to watch you dance, but if you still go, then you have to be mentally prepared to sell yourself. Whether it's dancing or being a prostitute, it's all about the flesh. There's no difference, so don't flaunt yourself. If you don't do it, then you're not selling yourself, understand? Yi Yin was so angry that she couldn't speak. Every word that came out of that pair of beautiful thin lips was as hurtful as ice shards, piercing her heart with a piercing pain. I'll fight you. Yi Yin jumped up and her body suddenly turned cold. Only then did she remember that she was naked and exposed in front of Qin Baiyuan. Her body was as white as a lamb, pure and beautiful, and it made his eyes suddenly warm. He didn't even notice that the cigarette but burned his hand. After a few seconds he threw it away and said while smoking, "Are you seducing me?" Yi Yin pulled up the quilt to cover herself in exasperation. Her face was burning and even her ears were red. Close your eyes. Don't look. I saw clearly what should and shouldn't be seen last night. Isn't it too fake to cover up now? Qin Baiyuan said indifferently, but his heart was stirred by her, and he was a little restless. Perhaps it was because his body had been restrained for too long after 6 months of abstinence. Once the dam broke, his desire was as strong as a flood. Last night, he was only satisfied after having sex with her 6 times. But as soon as he saw her body, it was a little unbearable. He wanted to press her under his body and squeeze her dry, until there was nothing left. Shameless villain. Yin couldn't find any more words to scold him. Thinking that her most precious first time was taken by this kind of person, the strong anger was simply indescribable. She felt so dirty that she wanted to peel off the layer of skin on her body. I'm shameless. Isn't it just right for you? By the way, your chest is quite beautiful. It's actually as big as my palm. Qin Baiyuan rubbed it with his hand and gestured. Soft and comfortable. Go to hell. Bad people live long lives. I won't die so soon. He stood up and pulled the bath towel off his waist. Yin screamed and covered her eyes. Are you an exhibitionist? It's not like I haven't seen it before. Why do you hide it? I'm more generous than you. As if afraid that it wasn't exciting enough, Qin Baiyuan even turned around and openly showed his perky buttocks. The young man's body glistened under the sun, like the handsome Apollo. Every part of him was perfect like a sculpture. It made one exclaim at the unfairness of the Creator. But in Yi Yin's eyes he was not Apollo. He was obviously Satan. She didn't know what kind of bad luck she had to actually provoke him. It was a pity that her first time, which she had treasured for 20 years, was lost just like that. Her heart ached terribly. Qin Baiyuan slowly put on his shirt and suit. The man in the suit looked especially mature. It was as if he had changed into another person and transformed into a well-dressed Sion, noble and elegant. When he looked at her, his eyelashes were long and curled. Even that playful look was extremely beautiful. Do you like me on the bed or this me? I hate both. I hate. Qin Baiyuan's lips twitched, revealing a row of white teeth. Women all say one thing but mean another. You don't know how much you like it when you say you hate it. Are you thinking how lucky you are to have such a perfect first time and it's just like me? After all, this young master doesn't like to touch. Yin said mockingly. I'm lucky. But it's not good luck, it's bad luck. Your body has been in and out of countless women's bodies. You think you're charming because you're experienced, but in fact you're a disgusting stallion. You're filthy from head to toe. It's my bad luck to be tricked by you. I'll just take it that I was bitten by a dog and blame it on my bad luck. Dog? You're calling me a dog? Calling you a dog is an insult to dogs. People like you are jackals and wild leopards. You have no humanity. Qin Baiyuan shrugged indifferently. So, bite me. If I don't pay for killing, not to mention biting you, I'll die with you. You want to die with me. Seems like you really like me. I've never seen someone as narcissistic as you. That's because I have the capital. Qin Baiyuan smiled. That smile was indeed devastatingly beautiful, dazzling. He picked up the leopard print skirt on the ground and threw it to her. His body suddenly pressed down on her. His hands were on both sides of her body, imprisoning her in his arms. That breath was very restless. What do you want? Yin was so nervous that her heart was in her throat. Believe it or not, last night was the first time, but it won't be the last? She wanted to deny it, but her throat couldn't stop trembling and she couldn't say a word. His eyes, which were as bright as the stars, flickered with a sense of destiny. Soon we'll meet again, Qin Baiyuan said firmly. That arrogance was also his most charming feature. Beautiful skin like an elegant fox. If foxes could become spirits, then he was definitely a male fox spirit. His beauty was unparalleled, more attractive than women. Qin Baiyuan's lips curled up in satisfaction. He rubbed her furry head. Before she could recover from her fear, he had already pulled away. Admittedly, he hadn't completely gotten over his previous relationship, and he didn't want to start a new one, so he didn't want to be too involved with any woman. However, this woman named Yin, at least physically, aroused his interest. Raising a pet could satisfy his needs. Occasionally he could also bicker and have fun. It was also a kind of pleasure. The man who had been satisfied physically and mentally 6 times in one night was particularly refreshed today. Even the secretary noticed it and couldn't help but ask, "President, you're in a good mood today?" Qin Baiyuan slowly took a sip of coffee, his eyes sparkling like stars. Oh, is it so obvious? Yes. Is there anything good? Guess? Women? Aha. This answer was a confirmation, right? The secretary felt a little jealous. A man like the president was simply born to satisfy the fantasies of women all over the world. In the past 6 months he seemed to have changed into a different person. He didn't have any scandals. Therefore she felt a little better in her heart. If she couldn't get him, other women wouldn't be able to either. But now, she could only say that she wasn't that lucky. Even though she was by his side every day, she was only a secretary. By the way, Tsinghua University invited you to attend the graduation ceremony, do you think? The secretary guessed that Qin Baiyuan would refuse. He didn't like to attend those kinds of occasions the most. According to his original words, he nodded and smiled at everyone like an actor. It was too boring. Tsinghua University? Wasn't that Shi Shujing's alma mater? This was Qin Baiyuan's first reaction. Then he remembered that Yin seemed to be from that school too. Last night he saw her student ID in her bag. She majored in architecture and was in her 4th year this year. No wonder he had a premonition that he wasn't done with her. Wasn't the opportunity here? President? Reply to them that I will attend on time. Yes, I got it. Chapter 306. Yin returned to her slum and cried while taking a shower. She washed the kiss marks on her body with all her might, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't wash them clean. It was extremely uncomfortable. She regretted jumping into the fire pit even though she knew it was dangerous. Compared to hating them, she hated herself more. But what could she do? She was just an ordinary person. She was weak and couldn't fight them. She still had her grandmother in the hospital. She couldn't die just like that. Life often gave her suffering. She could only bite the bullet and carry on. In life, some people were destined to suffer. No matter how hard and tiring it was, she could only endure it. In the afternoon, she went to school to discuss her graduation project with her tutor. Her tutor was Mu Bai, the youngest winner of the Pulitzer Prize in Architecture and the youngest honorary professor in the school. He was young, handsome, and talented. It was the dream of countless girls, and it was also her dream. Ever since he became a professor in her 3rd year, she had been secretly in love with him. Of course, in life, she carefully hid her feelings and never dared to express her feelings. She dreamed that after graduation, when they were no longer in a teacher-student relationship, she would confess her feelings to him. Of course, a dream was just a dream. How could an ordinary person like her be worthy of Mu Bai? However, she had always treated him as her motivation. In order to get closer to him, she worked hard with all her might. Just so that one day in the future she would be qualified to stand by his side. But now, everything had changed. Mu Bai was still Mu Bai, but Yin was no longer the pure Yin. Although they were not together, Yin still felt that she was dirty. She gave others the impression that she was not worthy of him. Mu Bai was wearing a white shirt and drawing a design. His sleeves were rolled up to his elbows. He looked gentle and handsome, giving people a warm and refreshing feeling. You're here. He raised his head and smiled at her under his warm gaze. His smile was so beautiful that it made Yin's heart ache. She regretted not confessing to him earlier. Even if she was rejected, at least she was still clean at that time. However, in the future she would no longer have the right to express her love. In fact, she would no longer have the right to like him. What's wrong? No, nothing. Yin forced a smile. I've seen your graduation design. It's very thoughtful. Among the graduation works of this year, you're the most outstanding. You're worthy of being my only student. Mu Bai praised her. He was only an honorary professor. Originally he did not teach students. However, Yin's design touched him and made him make an exception for her. She was very smart and had a talent for design. He wanted to personally train her. Thank you, teacher. Let me tell you a piece of good news. In a few days, the president of Blue Sky will attend the graduation ceremony. You know that I'm the chief designer of Blue Sky. At that time, I'll recommend you to the president. After graduation, you can work at Blue Sky. Mu Bai had his own selfish motives for doing so. Initially, he did become Yin's mentor because of her talent. However, as they slowly got along, he was moved by her personality. When he was with her, he was very happy and always looked forward to seeing her every day. This kind of feeling was a man's love for a woman. It was between the sexes. It was only because of their current relationship that he didn't confess. Now that she was about to graduate, he wanted to keep her by his side and find an opportunity to pursue her. To Yin, this was indeed very good news. However, right now she was a little depressed, so she wasn't very excited and only nodded her head. What's wrong? Are you unhappy? No, I might be too tired from designing recently and don't have much energy. You're just too hard-working. Girls can't stay up late often. You have to pay more attention to rest. To celebrate this good news, I'll treat you to dinner tonight. Yi-in originally wanted to refuse, but she still liked him greedily. Unable to refuse his invitation, she nodded her head. Mubai helped Yi-in revise her graduation design and went to dinner at 7 o'clock. Mubai chose a Western restaurant. Yi-in rarely came to such a high-class place and was a little unused to it. She really didn't understand a lot of Western etiquette and was afraid of making a fool of herself. Actually, you can just eat casually in school. There's no need to travel so far. This is the first time I'm treating you to dinner, of course it has to be grand. Mubai joked. Drink red wine? I don't want to drink. Therefore Mubai only poured a glass. As graduation approached, they often discussed design together, but it was the first time they had a meal together like this. Coupled with the romantic candlelight dinner, it gave Yi-in the feeling that they were on a date. She knew that she shouldn't have any extravagant hopes. How could an ordinary person like her get Mubai's favor? He only treated her as a student. And she too had to treat him as a teacher. She was more or less a little disappointed in her heart, so she could only find a topic to talk about. About the design? Today we are just eating as friends, not a teacher and a student. Let's not talk about the design first. Then what should we talk about? Only then did Yi-in realize that when the two of them were together, other than the graduation design, they really didn't seem to talk about anything else. Other than knowing that you're very talented, I don't know much about you. You can talk more about yourself. Me? There's nothing to talk about with me. I'm just an ordinary person. Every ordinary person has something unusual about them. My parents passed away and my grandmother raised me. You can say that I'm half an orphan. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything special about me. Yi-in didn't sound very sad when she said this. It had been so many years and she had long since gotten over it. No wonder you're so special. Special? Yes. You have a very tenacious strength in you. You're very independent and hardworking. Sometimes, misfortune can be turned into strength, which will become an asset in your life. Yes. What about you? I only know that you graduated from Stanford University, and you were born and raised in America. I don't seem to know much about other things. There's nothing worth talking about a man who buries himself in drawing designs. You've never had a girlfriend before? Don't tell me you already have a fiancé at home? Mubai seemed to find this question very interesting. Why do you think so? I just feel that from your upbringing, you must be a descendant of an aristocratic family. Don't those families pay attention to a well-matched social status? My parents received a Western education, and they don't have such traditional views. In terms of relationships, they respect me very much. As long as I like it, it's fine. They won't arrange it for me. That's great. I'm currently single and I don't have a girlfriend. Mubai suddenly said this sentence very seriously. That look in his eyes made Yi-in's heart burn, and she couldn't help but let her imagination run wild. Did he say this deliberately for her to hear? What was he hinting at? The 20-year-old girl's heart was thumping wildly. Don't think too highly of yourself, Yi-in. I'm just playing along with your words because you asked. How could it be a deliberate hint to you? Don't think too much. Yi-in hurriedly drank a mouthful of water, trying to quench the restlessness in her heart. In the end, she drank too quickly and choked. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Mubai handed her a handkerchief. It's just a meal. Don't be too nervous. I'm sorry, I'm always being silly today. Cough, cough. I don't know what you're worried about, but I hope that you remember that I'm not only your mentor but also your friend. If you have any difficulties, don't hesitate to look for me. I'll definitely do my best to help you. Yin, you're not alone. You still have me. If you encounter any difficulties, I hope that you'll think of me first. This sincere gaze, this promise made Yin feel touched, but it also made her feel embarrassed. Because she felt that she couldn't accept it. She wasn't worthy of him treating her so well. Her nose couldn't help but turn sour and her eyes turned red. Teacher, what's the matter? No, nothing. I'm too touched. Thank you for treating me so well. Mubai heaved a sigh of relief and smiled. Silly girl, taking care of you is something that I should do. Don't cry, okay? I'm not crying. It's the sand in my eyes. I'm going to the washroom. Okay. At the same time, Qin Baiyuan and Su Dai also happened to come to this restaurant for a meal. They sat by the window, only 2 tables away from Yi Yin's table. After sitting down, Su Dai was still complaining. It's too difficult to ask you out for a meal. Out of 10 times you reject me 9 times. How can you bear to reject a beauty like me? If you keep acting like this, I'll lose face, okay? Do you know how many men are lining up to eat with me? Along the way here, you've been complaining like an old woman. Are you done yet? My ears are already growing calluses. Who asked you to be so heartless and reject me so many times? Did I? Just once or twice. You still have the cheek to say that? 9 times. I remember it clearly. Qin Baiyuan was glib. Why do you remember it so clearly? Do you like me? Qin Baiyuan asked this as a joke. But to Su Dai it was not a joke because she felt guilty. I don't like you. I just feel that you burned the bridge after crossing it. I'm not happy with you. I've put in so much effort to help Blue Sky. You should be the one to treat me to a meal. But now I'm rushing to treat you to a meal and you're rejecting me. Don't you think you're asking for a beating? It sounds like I'm in the wrong. Then I'll treat you to a meal as an apology? You should be the one to treat me. I didn't bring my wallet out today. I'm already prepared. If you reject me again, I'll go on a hunger strike tonight. Don't. I'm already so skinny that I don't have any meat on me. If I don't eat, won't I look like a mummy? Don't blame me if you can't get married. So what if I blame you? If I can't get married, I'll marry you, Su Dai said half-jokingly. Qin Baiyuan could hear the seriousness in her words. He also knew Su Dai's feelings for him. That was why he had been refusing to meet her. In all fairness, Su Dai was really a very good woman. Her looks and character were top-notch. Therefore he had also thought about whether he should try it out with her. But in the end he rejected the idea. It was not just because of Shi Shujing but because he did not have any feelings for her. He just felt that she was suitable to be his friend. When it came to feelings, there was really no logic to it. No matter how good some people were, they just lacked feelings. There was nothing they could do about it. Chapter 307. It was because she was so good to him that sometimes he really couldn't bear to reject her directly. Instead, he hoped that she could understand and back off so that they could still be friends in the future and avoid awkwardness. What have you been up to recently? Isn't it just the company stuff? Su Dai pursed her lips and pretended to ask casually. You don't have a girlfriend? Yes. You have a girlfriend? She suddenly screamed. Damn, my ears are deaf from all the screaming. I have a girlfriend, why are you so excited? It's not like you have a girlfriend. When did you have a girlfriend? Why didn't I know? That's strange, do I need to report to you if I have a girlfriend? You? Of course you need. Aren't we friends? Su Dai's jealousy was all overturned, and she kept guessing who his girlfriend was. She had never heard of her. Where did a girlfriend come from? Who's your girlfriend? You know her. I know her? Qin Baiyuan waved at her mysteriously. Su Dai put her ear over and heard him slowly say one sentence. My girlfriend is a job. Damn it! How dare you fool me? Su Dai slapped him hard, feeling angry and amused at the same time. She heaved a sigh of relief, feeling like she was on a roller coaster. Why are you so indecent? Who asked you to be so nosy? Isn't it because I care about you? Look at how nervous you were just now, as if the sky was going to fall. Isn't it normal for me to have a girlfriend? Sooner or later I'll have to hand it over. Have you forgotten about Shi Shujing? She's already someone else's wife and the mother of our child. What's the use of always thinking about her? I don't want to burden her. I really looked down on my last relationship. If I give up, maybe I'll get married soon. Who knows? You mean you'll marry someone you don't love? Maybe. But maybe God is kind to me and there's another person who can move my heart? Su Dai wished it was her, but from Qin Baiyuan's tone, it was obvious that it wasn't her. In fact, she knew that Qin Baiyuan didn't like her, but it was her own wishful thinking that refused to give up. She had never lost in her life, and this was the first time she had truly fallen in love with a man. She would not allow herself to lose. Therefore, she always took the initiative to contact him and cared about everything about him. In terms of relationships, hard work might not be rewarded in a while. However, if she didn't work hard, there would be no hope at all. She didn't want to miss him. Therefore, even if she felt tired, disappointed, or humiliated most of the time, she still persisted until now. As long as Qin Baiyuan did not have a girlfriend, she would still have hope. She felt that she would not give up. She even thought that even if he had a girlfriend, they might break up or divorce. At that time, she would have a new hope. The idea of hanging herself from a tree was really stupid. However, she was a stubborn and stupid woman when it came to love. Anyway, she had set her sights on Qin Baiyuan, and she would not give up anytime soon. However, there were a lot of thoughts in her mind, but she was laughing on the surface. You're a bad person. If God bestowed a good girl to you, it would be a waste of a good girl. So don't have any hope. You'd better spend the rest of your life alone. Qin Baiyuan raised his eyebrows. You have a sharp tongue. I don't like to hear it. It's better to use it to eat. As he spoke, he turned around to call the waiter, but accidentally caught a familiar figure. It's her? Qin Baiyuan didn't expect his premonition to be so accurate. He actually bumped into her today. He and that little girl were really fated. However, she didn't come alone. There was a man sitting opposite her. Qin Baiyuan felt that he was a little familiar, so he took a few more glances at him. Isn't that their company's top designer, Mubai? How did she hook up with him? He had heard from Shi Shujing that this Mubai had a powerful background. He was from a prestigious family abroad. So, was Yin relying on a tycoon? Look at how she's laughing so hard that one can only see her teeth and not her eyes. Is it that funny? What are you looking at? Su Dai stretched out her hand and waved it in front of his eyes. Who have you taken a fancy to this time? Nobody. Qin Baiyuan slapped her hand away. Seeing that Yin got up and walked to the washroom, he also stood up. You order first. I'm going to the washroom. So troublesome. Yin scooped up a handful of water and washed her face. Only then did her face cool down a little. Looking at herself in the mirror, whose face was as red as a monkey's, but she was speechless. Yin, can you be more normal? Your face is so red. Teacher Mu can tell that you like him at a glance. I'm just concerned about you as a teacher. Don't think too much. Oh, relax, just like how you usually do in school. The people next to her found it strange that she was talking to herself and looked at her. She stuck out her tongue, dried her hands, and walked out of the washroom. The figure that suddenly appeared in front of her made her scream in shock. Why are you here? That look in her eyes was like she had seen a ghost. No, he was scarier than a ghost. Qin Baiyuan was leaning against the wall and smoking. He looked at her with a faint smile and did not say anything. Yin immediately went into a state of alert. You're following me? I'm following you? Hey, you're really confident. What kind of beauty are you? Is it worth me following you? Then why are you here? Is this restaurant owned by you? Why can you come here and I can't? You say it's a coincidence? Do you think I'm a fool? There are thousands of restaurants in Flozhen City. You just had to appear here. It's obvious that you have ulterior motives. Then I can also suspect that you're following me and have ulterior motives. What a false accusation. Yin could not help but roll her eyes. I have ulterior motives for people like you? Are you kidding me? Based on our identity and appearance, it's obvious that you have ulterior motives for me. If you don't believe me, you can ask anyone and see what they say. You're crazy. Yin had never been polite to this kind of person. What do you want? Nothing. Why did you follow me to the washroom door? Then what do you think I want? Or do you want me to do something to you? His beautiful eyes were filled with ambiguity. A man who wanted to say something but didn't had a kind of enchanting style, which made Yi Yin's heart soften a little. However, she would never be seduced by his charm. Why are you beating around the bush? Do you think you're saying a tongue twister? Qin Baiyuan's tongue moved around his thin lips and slowly puffed out smoke rings from his nose. Am I interrupting your date? Yi Yin's throat tightened. Who is that man? Boyfriend? Or is he your new target? The words new target made Yi Yin very uncomfortable. It was as if she was a gold digger who specialized in fishing for gold. It was very insulting. What relationship do I have with him? Does it have anything to do with you? You just got out of my bed this morning and you're dating another man at night. It seems to be an insult to me. Then what do you want me to do? Commit suicide by jumping off a building? Sorry, I'm not that weak. If I say it, I'll treat it as if I was bitten by a dog. In the future, you go your own way and I'll go my own way. We have nothing to do with each other. She seemed to hate talking to him. She was in a hurry to leave, but in fact she was afraid. But Qin Baiyuan grabbed her wrist, and Yi Yin was so anxious that she pushed him away with her hand. Let go of me. Why are you so flustered? Could it be that I'm right? Is he your new target? You, keep your mouth clean. He's my tutor. Oh, Qin Baiyuan said in a strange tone. So he's a tutor. Teacher-student love is really exciting. Do you like this kind of taboo? I have a pure teacher-student relationship with him. It's your head that's full of dirty thoughts. Really? You dare to say that you don't like him? Under those sharp eyes, Yin actually couldn't deny it. She hated that he was such a shameless scumbag, but he had a pair of clear and sharp eyes. All the thoughts of others had nowhere to hide and were clearly exposed in his eyes. Smiling like a flower. Can you be more obvious? He must be blind to not be able to see that you have ulterior motives for him. So what if I like him? Do you have the right to point at me? Who do you think you are? Are you a moralist? God. I'm not a moralist, nor am I God. I just think that you, a woman, are really casual. I'm casual? Yi Yin's brows were so tightly knitted that a fly could be squeezed to death. Isn't that so? At night, you sell your body in a nightclub, but in the day you pretend to be a pure college student. Aren't you tired of playing two roles? However, I can see that you seem to enjoy it and your disguise is not bad. I'm a college student. Dancing in a nightclub is a proper job. What right do you have to look down on me? Oh? Then I'd like to ask that tutor of yours if he also thinks that dancing in a nightclub is a proper job? As Qin Baiyuan spoke, he was about to walk over, but Yi Yin hurriedly held him back. Her fingers were locked tightly into his muscular arm, for fear that he would take another step forward. Don't go. Aren't you very magnanimous? What are you afraid of? How do I know that you won't add oil to the fire and spread rumors? I don't have the time for that. I'll just tell her the truth about your job and last night. Don't say it. Yi Yin jumped up to cover his mouth. Unexpectedly, Qin Baiyuan kissed her palm. She retracted her hand in a fluster as if she had been scalded. You, so fragrant your head. I didn't wash my hands after going to the toilet just now. Yi Yin was also flustered. Her palm felt hot and numb. Just say it. What do you want? I don't want anything. Qin Baiyuan blew a ring of smoke at her face slowly. I'm just a little unhappy. You've already taken advantage of me. What's there to be unhappy about? Even if you're unhappy, that person should be me, okay? Don't tell me that you're obsessed with my body and then fall in love with me. That's why you're following me around like a ghost? Yi Yin was trying to provoke him, but Qin Baiyuan did not fall for it. Instead, he laughed. Chapter 308. She was so angry that her face turned red. Don't say it. Anyway, you had a night with me and you were branded with my mark. You hooked up with other men and I felt a little uncomfortable in my heart. What kind of possessiveness is this? I'm not your possession and I can like whoever I want. Also, don't use those dirty words to describe the pure feelings between me and Teacher Mu. Even if it comes from your mouth, it's an insult to us. Really? I like to insult you. What can you do? Qin Baiyuan's back was facing the passage, and he stood in front of Yi Yin, so he turned around and pressed her against the wall. She didn't dodge and could only stick to the wall, wishing that she could melt into the wall. Get out of my way. Look, you're blushing. That's because I made you angry. You know very well whether it's because I have influence on you. Qin Baiyuan whispered in her ear, and the tip of his nose rubbed against Yi Yin's ear, burning her earlobe. Although they had the most intimate contact last night, Yi Yin was completely under the influence of the drug, and she didn't feel it was real. So this kind of intimacy was unfamiliar to her, and it was extremely exciting. The contact between the sexes would make one's heart beat faster. Moreover, Qin Baiyuan was a very beautiful man, and it made Yi Yin's hormones soar. Her throat couldn't stop itching and she couldn't control her restlessness at all. Qin Baiyuan found that he really liked her pure and innocent appearance of a college student. Even at such a close distance, she didn't have any pores. Her skin was white and rosy, glowing with the vitality of a young girl. It made him want to bite her cheek. But what he wanted to do more was to taste the sweet taste of her honeyed lips. The taste last night was really good, and it made him savor it for the whole day. Had he really not had a woman for a long time? He was actually so thirsty, and his desire was aroused by such a little wild cat. In the past he only liked docile women, but now his taste had changed? The man's heart was also very restless. He could almost hear her heartbeat, but he didn't know if it was hers or his own. Yi Yin was so anxious that her scalp went numb. On one hand, she hoped that someone would pass by and save her. On the other hand, she was afraid that someone would come and misunderstand their relationship. It had been so long. What if Mubai was worried and came to look for her? What if he saw this scene? Thinking of this, she recovered from her momentary intoxication and became even more anxious. You let go of me. I like the way you smell. He inhaled the scent of her hair. The last time he smelled such a light fragrance was from Shi Shujing. There were very few girls who could still exude the fragrance of flowers without wearing perfume. In some aspects she was really similar to Shi Shujing, which was why he was so attracted to her. But at the same time he also knew that they were two completely different people, two different kinds of people. Shi Shujing was not as sharp-tongued as her. "But I hate the smell of your body." Yin lied. She didn't want to admit that his breath made her slightly dizzy. His appearance was a little feminine, but he was a man with a very strong aura. Even his breathing was extremely invasive, drilling into her nose. Women often had no resistance to men's domineering and gentle teasing, not to mention that he was so good-looking. "It doesn't matter if you hate me. It's enough that I like you. I know what you're thinking. You're afraid that he will come, aren't you?" Qin Baiyuan deliberately spoke very slowly. "Afraid that he will misunderstand our relationship? Afraid that I will provoke your relationship? But what's the use of hiding it from him? Paper can't cover fire. One day in the future he will definitely know about your past, including the fact that you have slept with me. Do you think that your teacher Mu will think that you have deceived him with an innocent mask?" "You?" Yin clenched her fists. "You're a demon." "That's right, I'm a demon, and unfortunately you've provoked a demon. I just said in the morning that we would meet soon. It's only been a few hours and we've already met, which means that my prediction is accurate. Then let me tell you again, I don't intend to let you go just like that. The more you fear me, the deeper I will make you fall, until you are beyond redemption." He chuckled beside her ear, and it was obvious that her blushing cheeks were turning pale. He liked to scare her like this. He slowly pulled away, his smiling eyes staring at him as he pulled away. Yin leaned against the wall, unable to move for a long time. When Qin Baiyuan returned to his seat, the dishes were already served. Su Dai complained. "Why is a man taking so long to go to the washroom? Is he hiding inside to put on makeup? If there's food, just eat. Why are you talking so much nonsense?" "Tiske. So what if you're treating? Seeing how arrogant you are, I have to make you pay for it tonight. I just ordered the most expensive wine here, 1 million. Does it hurt? Only 1 million and you're hurting? Am I that stingy? The one thing this young master doesn't lack is stinky money." Su Dai was amused by him. "Go ahead and show off." Mubai waited for a long time for Yi Yin to return. He was worried that something might have happened to her, so he went to look for her. When he saw her standing at the corridor in a daze, with a frightened look, he hurriedly asked, "What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" "Ha!" Yi Yin returned to her senses in a daze. "No, nothing, just a little dizzy just now." Actually, she felt very wronged and scared. Mubai's concern made her want to cry. She wanted him to teach that guy a lesson. However, she did not have the face to say it, so she could only swallow all the grievances. Mubai touched her forehead. "You don't have a fever, why do you feel dizzy? I'll go with you to the hospital." "No need, let's go." This place was suffocating her. "You're leaving without eating?" "I'm sorry, I don't want to eat here. Let's go somewhere else, okay?" Yin forced a smile. "I don't have much appetite here." "Okay." Mubai nodded, held her shoulder and left. A pair of smiling eyes followed them closely from behind until they left the restaurant. Qin Baiyuan withdrew his gaze and carefully tasted the 1 million yuan bottle of red wine. He closed his eyes and recalled Yi Yin's frightened and pale face. He felt that the wine was getting more and more mellow. Mubai and Yi Yin ate some noodles at a nearby noodle house. After escaping from the big demon, Yi Yin felt a lot more relaxed. Moreover, she felt that high-class Western restaurants were only suitable for dates. It was impossible for her to fill her stomach. Noodle houses were more down-to-earth. After the meal, Mubai sent Yi Yin home. When he arrived downstairs, he turned around and found that she had fallen asleep. He heard from other students that she often worked part-time. Sometimes she worked several jobs a day. She must be very tired. A little girl of this age should be carefree, but she bore too much pressure in life. Thinking of this, Mubai felt a little heartache and did not wake her up. He wanted her to have a good sleep. When she slept, she was like a quiet baby. Her breathing was even and relaxed. He could see that she trusted him. Her hair wrapped around her palm-sized face. Her facial features were clean and delicate, as if they were drawn with a brush. She was not very stunning, but she was quite beautiful. The more he looked at her, the more beautiful she became. Although she bore the hardships of life, she was not polluted by the cruel society. She was like a pure white lotus that grew out of the mud in this impetuous society, untainted by the dust. This purity was very rare, and it made Mubai want to protect her. Other than designing, he had no interest in other things. But tonight he was surprisingly patient. He quietly looked at Yin for a long time. Yin was awakened by the sound of the horn. The corner of her mouth was wet. Mubai smiled at her. She quickly sat up and touched the corner of her mouth awkwardly. I fell asleep? Why didn't you wake me? I couldn't bear to see you sleeping so soundly. She stuck out her tongue. What time is it now? 11 o'clock. Oh my God, I slept for 2 hours? And you just looked at me like this for 2 hours? Ha! Yin wanted to find a hole to hide in. Do I look terrible when I'm sleeping? Talking in my sleep? Grinding my teeth? Snoring? No, don't be nervous. You sleep very peacefully. Yin was very doubtful of his words. Didn't she know how restless her sleep was? The space in the car suddenly became ambiguous. She blushed. Teacher Mu, thank you for sending me back. It's not in school. You can call me Mubai. Mubai. Yin murmured. It was really a nice name. It was just like the feeling he gave people. He was gentle and handsome. It made people feel warm from the bottom of their hearts. She couldn't help but feel sweet in her heart. However, she knew that she shouldn't have any expectations of him. So, it was better to keep a distance to avoid sadness in the future. Whether outside or inside the school, you are my teacher. It's more appropriate to call you Teacher Mu. Sorry to trouble you today. The area where you live is not very safe. Why are you staying here? Mubai knew that this area was a slum. The alleys were so narrow that cars could hardly squeeze in. There were all kinds of people living here. Just now he saw a few gangs of gangsters. It's cheap here. But you're a girl. It's not safe. Why don't you stay in school? I often work part-time. The dormitory closes early, so I don't want to trouble the dormitory manager every time. It's freer to live alone. The people living here are very complicated. Actually, it's not bad. You see, I've been living here for 4 years. Isn't it still fine? Mubai sighed. It's better to be safe than sorry. I know you care about me. I'll take care of myself. I'll go up first. Drive carefully. Wait. Mubai unbuckled his seat belt. I'll send you. Yin felt very warm for his gentlemanly attitude. She had lived here for 4 years. This was the first time a man sent her upstairs. Moreover, it was the man she had a crush on. Her heart was beating like a drum. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Actually, it's just a few steps. There's no need. I'm worried. Since I'm here, a few more steps won't matter. Chapter 309. Yin stomped her feet a few times and shouted a few more times before the corridor lights came on. It's like this here. The corridor lights are often broken. The floor is a bit slippery, so be careful. Yin walked in front while Mubai walked behind. Under the dim light, they couldn't see the road clearly. The floor was dirty and the air was filled with a stench. Yin felt a bit awkward. She didn't mind letting others know that she was poor, but she felt bad for letting Mubai suffer with her. As she was lost in her thoughts, she didn't notice that her feet suddenly slipped. She shrieked in fright and fell backward. Be careful. Mubai helped her from behind in time. She gasped, still in shock. That was close. I stepped on a banana peel. Luckily you're here. Otherwise I would have fractured my bones. Yeah. Mubai was also shocked along with her. She felt a refreshing masculine scent behind her ear. Yin then realized that the two of them were so close. Their faces were almost touching. Especially their lips, which were even closer, and they were exchanging breaths. The dim light seemed to converge on both of their faces. She could see every organ on his face, even his pores, clearly. It was really a good-looking face. It was as if the light of the whole galaxy was condensed. She couldn't help but focus her eyes on him. She vaguely heard a sentence, "Why do you like someone?" Because his body shines. Yes, Mubai had always been the shining star in her ordinary life. For the past 2 years he was the only one in her eyes. But she was too insignificant, so she didn't dare to get close to him. She carefully hid her humble feelings. The lips that he had been longing for were close at hand. Mubai couldn't help but lean forward bit by bit. But at this moment the corridor was completely dark. Yin hurriedly stomped her feet a few more times before the light came back on. Although Mubai was disappointed, he heaved a sigh of relief. The atmosphere was too ambiguous just now. It caused him to lose control of his rationality and almost kissed her. Fortunately he didn't. Otherwise their teacher-student relationship would be at an impasse. How could he be so impulsive? It really shouldn't have happened. I live on the 3rd floor. This is it. As soon as Yi Yin turned the corner, she saw her suitcase thrown at the door. Her things were scattered everywhere. How could my things be like this? The fat landlady came back from next door and raised her voice to yell. You're finally back. Why didn't you answer my call? Did you do it on purpose? Why is my luggage here? I'm not renting this house anymore. You're not renting it? But you didn't tell me in advance. I've been living here for 4 years and I've paid the rent on time every month. How could you just say no? The landlady said impatiently. The house is mine. If I want to rent it, I'll rent it. If I don't want to rent it, I won't rent it. Why do you care so much? Sister Zhang, you can't be so unreasonable. I'll be honest with you. The government is going to demolish the house. I'm going to sell the house. All the residents here will have to move out. Then what do we do? That's your business. Whether you want to move to another place or sleep on the street has nothing to do with me. Here, this 1,000 yuan is the deposit you paid. As for this month, you've already lived half of it. I won't refund you the rest of the rent. No, we've signed an agreement. If you don't rent it to me, you have to compensate me. There's no such thing. You can sue me. Anyway, I'm not renting it. You can think of a way yourself. It was really like when it rains, it pours. Everyone was bullying her. Yin flew into a rage out of humiliation and took a step forward. I'm not going to. Mubai pulled her gently and shook his head. Forget it. Let's go. He was worried about her staying here. It would be best if she could move away. How can I just let it go like this? If she doesn't compensate me, how can I afford to rent another house? The landlady looked at Mubai and said sarcastically, Isn't this man very rich? Just ask him for it. How can I rent the house to someone like you? You're still spouting nonsense. Handsome, let me remind you. She often comes back very late. She definitely doesn't have a proper job. She's probably doing that kind of thing. Don't be fooled by her. You, Mubai smiled. Yi Yin is a student of Tsing University. I'm her mentor. I know what kind of person she is. Please don't slander her. Tiske, I'm reminding you out of goodwill. It's fine if you don't believe me. The landlady rolled her eyes impatiently. Don't block here. Take your things and leave. Yin complained as she moved her luggage. She kept nagging after getting into the car. Mubai comforted her patiently. It's okay. It's not safe for a girl like you to live there. It's a good thing to move away. But how can she just leave my luggage outside? She's too much. Even if I'm poor, she can't bully me like this. I'm sorry, Teacher Mu. It's so late for you to help me move my things and listen to my complaints. It's okay. Fortunately, I sent you up. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what to do at this late hour. By the way, what's your plan now? I can only spend the night at my friend's place and then look for a house. Is that so? Mubai suggested with a jolt in his heart. Why don't you stay at my place? No. Are you afraid that I'll bully you? His playful tone made Yin blush uncontrollably. That's not what I mean. But there's a difference between a man and a woman. If word gets out, I'm afraid it won't be good. It's so late. Your friend must be asleep. Besides, looking for a house isn't something that can be solved in a short time. You should stay at my place for a few days. You can move out when you find a house. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. You can stay in the guest room. Yin was conflicted. She wanted to be closer to Mubai, but she was afraid that such intimacy would make her greedy and lose control. She twisted her skirt and didn't know how to answer. If you don't say anything, I'll take it that you agree. It's decided. There are no teachers or classmates in the community. No one will know. Don't worry. I'll trouble you. Yin secretly thought that she would let herself be crazy for once. As the car drove into the high-class community, Yin looked out of the window and sighed. You live in Daijing Star City? The rent here is very expensive. I heard that the best Riverview room costs more than 20 million yuan, and the monthly rent is more than 30,000 yuan. Really? I don't know. I just came back to China and thought it was nice here, so I bought one. Mubai played it down as if he was not talking about a mansion, but an ordinary small house. Yin couldn't stop marveling, and then she blushed a little. Sorry, I rarely come to such a high-class community, so... Mubai shook his head and thought that her reaction was very cute. Sometimes, having everything makes you numb, and you don't feel anything no matter how luxurious it is. On the contrary, when people have nothing, it's easier to be happy, and it's easier to see the new side of the world. The night view of the community was spectacular enough, but the view of the room was even more amazing. Yin leaned on the floor-to-ceiling window, widened her eyes and looked at the bright river view. Wow, The night view here is so beautiful. Quick, pinch me. Am I dreaming? Really? You'll get used to it after a long time. However, it's really a pleasure to sit on the balcony at night and enjoy the river view while drinking. This house is so big. Are these furnishings antiques? They look so valuable. Yin touched this and then patted that and was very curious about everything. You live in this room. I can also see the river view from my room? Great. She threw her head back and rolled on the bed. The bed is so soft and comfortable. Mubai coughed and turned his head away. Yin realized that she accidentally exposed her thigh and hurriedly covered it. She was so shy that she didn't know what to say. Did he think that she deliberately seduced him? There's a bathroom in your room. Go take a bath and rest early. Yin got up and sent Mubai to the door. Teacher Mu. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what to do tonight. Mubai smiled and rubbed her hair. The intimate action made her shrink her neck and tremble. Good night. Good night. Closing the door, Yin looked at the clean room and still felt like she was dreaming. She was actually living with the Prince Charming that she had a crush on for 2 years? It felt so unreal. She secretly pinched herself. It hurt. It wasn't a dream. Yin, calm down. He only temporarily took you in because you were homeless. Chapter 310. Mubai took a bite and a faint fragrance filled his mouth. It's delicious. Really? I used to think that if I stopped designing in the future, I would open a noodle shop. I even thought of a name, Nightingale Noodle. Mubai was infected by her energetic look. She was always full of positive energy which made people like to be with her. She was happy all the time. Eating the fragrant noodles and looking at her bright little face, Mubai couldn't help but say, if you're used to living here, then you can always live here. Always live here? How can I do that? There are 2 rooms here anyway and they're empty. You'll graduate in a month and you'll be very busy during this time. It's best not to be distracted by looking for a house. It won't be too late to decide after your job is settled. Of course, Yin didn't want to move around, but she had her concerns. Will this disturb you too much? Of course not. If you feel bad about it, then make breakfast for me every day. Consider it your rent. Okay. With such a sincere invitation, Yin couldn't refuse it even if she wanted to. What's more, she didn't want to refuse it. She knew it was wrong, but it didn't mean she didn't want to. Then I'll have to bother you for another month. It's not a bother. I'm very happy that you can live here. Thank you, Teacher Mu. You're such a good person. Mubai thought that he wasn't a good person, but he actually had his own selfish motives. He just wanted to see her every day. If the 2 of them lived together, they could slowly cultivate their feelings, right? When she graduated and was no longer his student, he could officially pursue her. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but look forward to it. Teacher Mu? Teacher Mu? What are you thinking about? Nothing. Mubai blushed unnaturally. I'm just thinking about today's graduation ceremony. At that time, I'll introduce you to President Qin. You have to perform well. Okay. I know. President Qin, surname Qin again? Don't tell me he's that demon king? It shouldn't be possible. There were so many people surnamed Qin in the city, how could it be him? A person like him, acting like a spoiled brat, obviously only knew how to abuse his family. How could he be a CEO? It would be strange if the company didn't go bankrupt. Backstage at the graduation ceremony, the principal, vice principal, professors, and a room full of big shots were all waiting for an even bigger figure, the president of the Qin group, Qin Baiyuan. Originally, Yin was quite calm, but she became serious when she saw their serious expressions. It was as if they were meeting some senior official or something. Her palms were sweating a little. After waiting for about half an hour, a certain super big shot finally arrived. He was surrounded by everyone, and behind him were his secretaries and assistants. The moment that person stepped into the room, the smile on Yi Yin's face completely froze. It was like a bolt from the blue. The great demon is actually Qin Baiyuan? Was there only one person with the surname Qin in Flozhen City? What the hell? She wanted to slip away, but Qin Baiyuan's eyes locked on her. That pair of clear and sharp eyes seemed to be smiling yet not smiling, full of evil intentions. Yin screamed in her heart. Oh no, this time she bumped into him. Oh no. The principal and professors went up to greet him attentively. Qin Baiyuan shook hands with them one by one, and finally came to Mubai and Yin. He and Mubai knew each other, so he greeted him directly. President Qin. Director Mu, what a coincidence. You are an honorary professor at Tsinghua University. Yeah. Qin Baiyuan's eyes slowly moved to Yi Yin. And this beauty is? This is Yi Yin, my student. Student? I thought she was your girlfriend when I saw you two standing together so well. Yi Yin's face was completely red, not from shyness but from anger and anxiety. This great demon loved to spout nonsense. Was he trying to stir up trouble with such a sarcastic tone? President Qin likes to joke. Yi Yin is my favorite student, and I want to take this opportunity to recommend her to you. With her ability, she is completely qualified to be the designer of the Qin Group. I heard that you have always been very strict when it comes to choosing people, and the company has never made an exception to promote a graduate as a designer. It seems like you like her a lot. Yi Yin has outstanding design talent, and she is also very diligent. My judgment is never wrong. Really? But since you recommend her so strongly, I really can't help but wonder if you admire her talent, or simply admire her as a person, or do you want to keep her by your side out of personal reasons? President? It's just a joke, don't take it seriously. But even so, it's not a big deal. There are so many incest nowadays, let alone a teacher-student relationship, right? Qin Baiyuan asked as he looked into Yi Yin's eyes. She kept her head down. In her heart, she had already cursed him from top to bottom and inside out 10,000 times. The principal came over and reminded him. President Qin, the graduation ceremony has begun. Okay. Only then did Qin Baiyuan leave. Yi Yin heaved a sigh of relief and curled her lips. What kind of person is he? He is full of nonsense. Don't mind him. President Qin is like this. He didn't mean anything else. Yi Yin thought that it was not that he didn't mean anything else. His words were full of other meanings. It was a pity that she couldn't expose Qin Baiyuan's mask. Instead, she was worried that he would talk nonsense to Mu Bai. She had heard that Qin Baiyuan was very difficult to invite and rarely attended public events. Therefore, there must be a reason why he attended the graduation ceremony, and it was most likely because of her. Thinking of this, Yi Yin was very anxious. She could only keep comforting herself that she was overthinking. She was just an insignificant person to Qin Baiyuan, and he would never spend so much time and energy on her. But it was hard to say because he was really a super boring and super bad person. The graduation ceremony began. When Qin Baiyuan gave a speech, the female students below screamed excitedly. Oh my God, Qin Baiyuan is so handsome. I was fascinated by him when I saw him on TV. He is even more handsome in person. Yes, he is so mature and so manly. I'm almost suffocated. Hurry up and pinch me to see if I'm dreaming or not. The girls were chattering and Yi Yin couldn't concentrate. However, she didn't need to concentrate on Qin Baiyuan's acting. He was dignified, but in fact there was only one word to describe him. His acting was so good that it was disgusting. Although Mr. C is also very handsome, Qin Baiyuan is really charming and naughty. He's my type. I really don't know why Shi Shujing was willing to divorce him. That's right. You see, he is still so protective of Shi Shujing after the divorce, which shows that he is a super good man who values friendship. It's such a pity. He must be very sad. I really hope I can comfort his hurt little heart. Yi Yin was stunned for a moment. He was divorced? She was very busy working, so she had no time to pay attention to those gossip news, and she was not interested in the gossip of rich and powerful families. Otherwise she would have known what he looked like. Looking at him speaking confidently on the podium and his high-spirited appearance, she really didn't expect that he had such an experience. The divorce seemed to have left no scars on him. However, he was a man without a heart. Divorce was not a big deal to him. Protecting his ex-wife? It should be all an act. If he really valued friendship, she wouldn't have divorced him. His dignified appearance could only deceive ignorant girls. She wanted to vomit when she heard it. The speech of more than an hour was over, and the audience applauded thunderously. Yi Yin didn't want to admit that Qin Baiyuan was very good at talking about business, and she had learned a lot from him. He was full of bad ideas. How could he be so smart? It must be someone else who helped him write the speech. Mu Bai went backstage with her. Mr. Muai, I suddenly feel a little uncomfortable. I can't accompany Boss Qin anymore. What's wrong? Shall I accompany you to the infirmary? No, it's okay. It's not a big problem. Before Yi Yin had time to slip away, Qin Baiyuan came over. Next, is it time to visit the campus and have a meal? When Mu Bai was about to nod, his phone rang. He said after answering the phone. Sorry, I have something to do. Yi Yin, you accompany Boss Qin. Mu Bai hoped that the two of them could contact more, so that Qin Baiyuan could understand Yi Yin's ability. I also have something to do, Yin said hurriedly. Qin Baiyuan raised his eyebrows. Then what should I do? You invited me here. Are you so irresponsible? Don't you still have the principal and the professor? I asked them to leave first. Mubai said a few words and left. Yin was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan. Mr. Mu, stop calling. He won't come back. You did it on purpose. What? You sent him away on purpose, didn't you? You're not stupid. But I did it for your own good. Do you want him to stay and listen to us? The word warm came out of Qin Baiyuan's mouth. Yi Yin's ears turned hot. She gritted her teeth and said in a low voice, Who wants to be warm with you? You go to hell. I'm a guest specially invited by Tsinghua University. How dare you curse me to go to hell? Is this the quality of Tsinghua University students? Yin rolled her eyes. That's because you don't deserve to be respected. Whatever you say. Now, can you accompany me? Don't use the word, accompany. It's disgusting. Qin Baiyuan was amused. Am I disgusted or are you disgusted? You should accompany me. I'm afraid you're the one with an impure heart, right? That's because you're evil. That's why everything you say is evil. It's not that I'm dirty. Just a saying. You're the one with a guilty conscience. What? Are you afraid that I'll tell your Mr. Mu about our relationship? I have nothing to do with you. Our relationship in bed is also a relationship. Moreover, it's a very, very intimate relationship. In my opinion, there's a 99% chance that he still thinks that you're pure. Me too, but didn't you? Thinking of this, Yin wanted to skin him and drink his blood. Let's not talk about that. Tsinghua University is not bad. Accompany me around? I have something to do. The most important thing for you now is to accompany me. Chapter 311. Men, what are you afraid of? Qin Baiyuan looked around and said thoughtfully. This is her alma mater. I've never been here. Sure, Shujing's figure could be seen in every corner of this place. If he had known her better, they would be very happy now. She couldn't help but feel a little regretful. Yin suspected that there was something wrong with her eyes. The emotion in Qin Baiyuan's eyes was disappointment. Sadness? How could he be sad? Didn't he have a heart? The she he was talking about should be his ex-wife, right? If he loved her, why would he divorce her? Or was he so cheap that he didn't know how to cherish her until he lost her? Don't think about it. His business has nothing to do with you. Don't worry about it. You'd better find a way to get rid of him first. I'm graduating soon. I have to finish my graduation project. I really don't have time. Boss Qin, you're such a big shot. You must be very generous and won't make things difficult for a little girl like me. Being a big shot doesn't mean being generous. On the contrary, I'm very stingy, very stingy. If my purpose is not satisfied, I'll be very unhappy. Qin Baiyuan dragged his voice and twitched the corner of his mouth. And when I'm unhappy, I'll do something that will make others even more unhappy. Do you want to try? It's already like this. You still want to resist? Qin Baiyuan put his arms around Yi Yin's neck and locked her in his arms. She was so anxious that she jumped up and down. Let go. People will misunderstand. Hey, let go, you smell so good. Do you know? For the past few days I've been reminiscing about your fragrance. He sniffed hard. Is it your body fragrance? Hey, just talk. Don't touch me. It's not good if people see it. Then tell me, do you want to accompany me to walk around the campus? I'll accompany you, okay? That's a good girl. Qin Baiyuan smiled with satisfaction and let go of her. That smile was more dazzling than the sun, but it made Yin hate it. Smile, smile, what's so funny? Your teeth are so white. Why don't you be in a toothpaste advertisement? How annoying. Qin Baiyuan was the second most despicable and shameless person she could think of in the world. No one could be the first. Yin felt that Qin Baiyuan was definitely a sadist. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have wandered around the campus in the high temperature. Not only was he torturing himself, but he was also torturing her. She felt quite depressed. After walking around for more than an hour, they finally walked around the entire campus and rested in a coffee shop. Yin was already sweating profusely. The air conditioner was not enough, so she kept fanning herself with her hands. On the other hand, Qin Baiyuan was still refreshed. There was no sweat at all. Did this man not have pores? He was not sweating at all. Yin grabbed the glass and gulped down 2 mouthfuls of ice water. Girls shouldn't drink ice water. It's bad for the uterus. Qin Baiyuan kindly reminded her, but she did not appreciate it and made a face at him. I just like to drink. It's none of your business. Although it was hypocritical, he actually had such a caring side to him. Was he influenced by his ex-wife again? When the student part-time waitress came over to ask Qin Baiyuan what he wanted to drink, her face was so red that it was about to explode. She had a look of infatuation and could not bear to move her eyes away from his face for even a second. It was as if she had never seen such a good-looking man in her life. She did not even blink. Coffee, thank you. Qin Baiyuan nodded. Yin pouted. He was just born with a good appearance. What was the use of being good-looking? Character was the most important, okay? He was full of bad ideas, but he was much worse than Teacher Mubai. Yin asked for a glass of lemon juice. You like to drink sour? It's none of your business. It's the first time I've seen such a bad attitude as a tour guide. I can complain about you. I'm a person who treats people the way I treat them. If you think my attitude is bad, then you should reflect on your own problems first. What problems can a perfect man like me have? Perfect? With your character, you have the cheek to say that you are perfect? Don't you feel embarrassed? Narcissistic. The word perfect can only be used on Teacher Mu. As for you, you are an insult to this word. So that's why you look like an infatuated fool when you look at him, laughing so hard? Doesn't he know that you like him? What? Between me and Teacher Mubai, it's just a very, very simple teacher-student relationship. It's not like what you're saying. Between men and women, it's purely based on feelings. You don't understand. Is that so? Qin Baiyuan leaned forward an inch and stared at her eyes. Then let me tell you, there's definitely no such thing as pure friendship between men and women. Do you think that Mubai recommended you so hard just because he's a good teacher? Actually, he's very selfish. He took such a big deeder just to keep you by his side. Don't use your dark heart to infer an upright gentleman. Teacher Mu is a good person and you happen to be the opposite of him. You're as wretched as he is outstanding. Naive? Qin Baiyuan shook his finger. I'm sure that he has designs on you, and it's not just a matter of a day or two. He's been planning this for a long time. If he has designs on me, I'll wake up laughing even in my dreams. You're so thirsty. You're so wretched. We're both adults, why are you still having a crush? Do you think you're a primary school student? Childish. At least I'm pure, unlike you who only thinks with your lower body and wants to go to bed with a woman. Qin Baiyuan touched his lips. Do you need me to remind you who was the one who took the initiative that night? A woman who looks pure on the surface is actually the most impure in bed. He gestured for her to stop. Don't argue with me. I've slept with more women than you've ever seen with men. Whether it's men or women, I understand them better than you. I can't be bothered to argue with you. Anyway, a clean conscience is not afraid of a crooked shadow. Everyone knows who's in the wrong. Since you don't believe that your teacher Mu is a wolf, why don't we do an experiment? If you work for Blue Sky, he'll naturally reveal his true colors. Yin rolled her eyes. So you went around in circles just to trick me into working for Blue Sky? Do you think I'm a fool? Didn't your teacher Mu strongly recommend you to me? If that's the case, I'll give him some face. However, your position is not a designer but my secretary. When the word secretary came out of Qin Baiyuan's mouth, it naturally made Yin think of some very evil things. The secretary he was talking about should be a 24/7 personal service, including the kind that goes to bed, right? Tiske full of obscene thoughts, too wretched. I refuse. Why? Isn't the answer obvious? Because you're the CEO. So what? Do you know how many people fight to work for Blue Sky? Those people want to work for Blue Sky, not for you to sleep with them. When Qin Baiyuan heard this, he was delighted. Do you think I want to sleep with you? Isn't that so? I admit that you're not bad looking, but you overestimate yourself. What kind of person am I, Qin Baiyuan? If I want a woman, do I need to sleep with her? Then why do you want me to be your secretary? Do I need a reason? Yes. He thought about it. Because you're interesting. Whether you're pretending or not, at least you're different from other women. They've been racking their brains to attract my attention, but you haven't. Instead, you've been resisting me. At the end of the day, it's just that your male chauvinism is acting up. When others chase after you, you think it's very vulgar. When others look down on you, you feel that it hurts your self-esteem. Do you think you're R&B loved by everyone? In this world, there are people who like you, and naturally, there are people who hate you. You can't control my thoughts, I just hate you. I'm not forcing you to like me, I just think that it's fun to bicker with you. I'll treat it as raising a pet and teasing it occasionally to add some fun to my life. You're the pet. We're all human, why do you think you're better than others? I'm a person of flesh and blood with dignity, not some random cat or dog. I won't be your pet. Oh. Since you're so dignified, then you won't mind the school and your teacher Mu knowing that you've been dancing in a nightclub, right? You? Yin gritted her teeth. Using this to threaten a woman, are you still a man? Don't you know very well whether I'm a man or not? Do you want me to prove it again? Qin Baiyuan's tone was extremely ambiguous and explicit. I've already said that I have 10 million ways to make you submit. I don't even need to think about it to make you submit. Think carefully about what you should choose. My patience is limited, don't make me wait too long. Being disturbed by Qin Baiyuan, Yin was not in the mood to design, so she went straight back to Mubai's apartment. She bought a lot of ingredients in the supermarket downstairs, calculated that it was almost time and made dinner. At about 7 o'clock, Mubai returned home. As soon as he opened the door, he smelled a strong aroma of food. Yin had just served the braised fish on the table and wiped her sweat. You're back just in time, I just finished cooking and was about to call you to ask if you'd like to come home for dinner. Mubai's heart warmed. After returning to China for 4 years, he was used to being alone. The last time he had a homestay was a long time ago. This feeling was really good, very warm. Moreover, Yi not only gave him the warmth he had been looking forward to, but they also had a lot in common when it came to designing. No matter how he looked at it, she was a very suitable partner. Of course, those external factors were not the most important. The most important thing was that she made him feel moved. Thank you for your hard work. It's just cooking, it's not hard at all. In the afternoon, Yin was a little upset. Only when she was cooking, thinking that she was cooking for the person she liked, her mood became a little better. Mubai washed his hands and Yin had already filled a bowl of soup for him. 2 dishes and 1 soup were all home-cooked dishes for 2 people. You seem to be able to eat spicy food, so I cooked braised fish with brown sauce. The taste is also quite strong. It's delicious. It's much better than the takeout we used to eat at school. During the months when I was doing the graduation design, you almost always treated me to dinner. This is the first time I've treated you. The meaning of cooking is different from takeout. Thank you for preparing such a delicious dinner for me. Chapter 3:12. What's wrong? What's on my face? No, nothing. As long as you like it. By the way, how about you accompany Xiao Qin to visit the school today? Hearing that disgusting name, the light in Yi Yin's eyes dimmed, and she said with some repulsion. What do you mean? That's it. Do you get along well with him? So that's it. What do you think of Xiao Qin? Yi Yin wanted to reply that he was a super invincible perverted demon, but she could only reply with one sentence. Not very good. You don't like him? Why should I like him? Xiao Qin is a very charming man. Many women like him. Mubai asked this to test Yi Yin's attitude. He knew that she was not a shallow gold digger. She would not like Qin Baiyuan just because he was rich and powerful. However, Qin Baiyuan was also very charming. On the one hand, he wanted to introduce them to each other. On the other hand, he was afraid that she would fall for him. It was really contradictory. It was the first time in her life that she had such a feeling. It's their business if they like him. It doesn't mean that I have to like him too. Anyway, I don't like him. I think he's a hypocrite. Oh? What hypocrite? I don't know how to say it. It's just a feeling. Ms. Mu, why do you care so much about my feelings for him? Do you want to give me to him? Of course not. Mubai immediately denied it. Giving the woman he liked to another man? How could it be possible? Then why do you keep asking me? I just want to ask what you think of him. Oh, Yin ate 2 mouthfuls of rice and didn't say much. Did he mention anything about work? No. Yin lied. She lowered her head and didn't dare to look into his eyes. But it's okay. I can arrange it. Actually, I don't have to work at Blue Sky. Didn't you say that this is your dream? Now that you have the opportunity, why don't you seize it? I just said it casually. I didn't think it through. Although Blue Sky is a large corporation, there are many other powerful companies in Flozen City, such as the Ocean Group. I don't necessarily have to enter Blue Sky. But I want you to work in Blue Sky. Why? Because I want you to stay by my side. Mubai couldn't help but say. The gentleness and expectation in his eyes made Yi Yin's imagination run wild. He said he wanted her to stay with him? Did that mean she liked him? The young girl's heart was thumping wildly. Mubai realized that he had made a slip of the tongue and blushed unconsciously. What I'm saying is that we can be good work partners. Oh, I see. Yin was a little disappointed. As expected, she had thought too much. Her male god was so outstanding, how could he fall in love with an ordinary person like her? She was too full of herself. However, no matter what the reason was, at least he wanted to be with her. She should still be happy. She mustered up her courage and the smile returned to Yi Yin's face. The ribs are quite delicious. Let's eat more of them. Okay. Thinking of how Qin Baiyuan threatened to tell Mu Bai about her dancing in the nightclub, she still felt a little uneasy and asked tentatively. Teacher Mu, what kind of girl do you like? Mu Bai's fingers paused. He had the answer in his heart, he liked her. However, this secret couldn't be revealed now. There's no special type. To put it simply, it depends on fate as long as there's a feeling. Oh? Then if you like a girl, will you mind her past? For example, she's divorced. As long as I like her, I won't mind. A glimmer of hope ignited in Yi Yin's heart. Then what if she used to work in a nightclub? But it's not like that, she only danced there. She was expecting him to answer no, but Mu Bai nodded. I don't mind that she was married and even had children, but I can't accept girls who have worked in those places. Why? She's not an escort. Everyone has a bottom line. My bottom line is that the girl I like must be innocent. I'm not saying that the girl in that place must be dirty, but at least she will be more complicated and not so pure. And to be realistic, who knows what she has done in there. So I can't tolerate this. Yi Yin's heart felt as if it had been stabbed by a knife, and it was dull and painful. She didn't think there was anything wrong with dancing in a nightclub, but if she mentioned it, others would associate it with those ugly dances. She had to admit that she did wear revealing clothes when she danced. What's wrong? No, nothing. I'm just asking on a whim. Yin forced a smile. Drink more soup or it'll get cold. Her reaction was a little strange. Could she have danced in a nightclub before? This thought only existed in Mu Bai's mind for a second before he denied it. If she had danced in a nightclub, she couldn't be so pure. He must be thinking too much. That night, Yin tossed and turned and she barely slept. The next day, she went to school with 2 big dark circles under her eyes and continued to work on her graduation design with Mu Bai. There was only 1 month left before graduation and time was tight, so Yin didn't work much these days. Basically, she spent all her energy on the design. She revised it and showed it to Mu Bai. What do you think? Well, it's already very good. You just need to change a few details. Where? Here, here, and here. Mu Bai walked behind her, pointed at a few places on the design, and patiently taught her how to modify it. Yin had a feeling of enlightenment, and she was so excited that her eyes shone. According to your method, it will be much better. Thank you, Mr. Mu. Turning her head, she found that Mu Bai's face was just above her lips. If she moved a little closer, she would touch his face. Yi Yin's cheeks instantly turned red. Mu Bai also looked at her without blinking, and he couldn't help but think of the throbbing desire to kiss her that night. The air suddenly became very romantic, and both of their hearts beat faster and their mouths became dry. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking on the door broke the atmosphere. Yi Yin was so anxious that she almost knocked over the pen holder in her hand. Mu Bai's reaction was calmer than hers, and he naturally turned his head. Qin Baiyuan stood at the door and looked at the two of them with a probing gaze. He seemed to smell something, so he smiled with some evil intentions. Boss Qin, why are you here? Qin Baiyuan? Yi Yin was already very embarrassed. When she saw him, not only was she embarrassed, but she was also very annoyed. She felt that he came to catch her in the act on purpose. Ba ba ba. There was nothing going on between her and Mr. Mu. Today I came to talk with the principal about the donation of the teaching building, so I came to have a look. Qin Baiyuan walked in and stared at Yi Yin with a playful look. I didn't expect to see this scene. What did you see? Don't talk nonsense. Yi Yin said bluntly. I didn't say anything. Why are you so guilty? Yi Yin bit her lip. She couldn't out-talk him, so she just shut up. What are you busy with? Helping Yi Yin revise her graduation design. Mu Bai took this opportunity to show the design to Yi Yin. This is Yi Yin's design. It doesn't look like a student's work at all. Few domestic designers can reach her level now. It's really good. I didn't expect her to dance well, and the design is quite good. Yi Yin was so anxious that her face turned red, and she winked at him to shut up. Dance? Mu Bai asked curiously. Do you know how to dance? I heard she mentioned before that she could dance, but I didn't have the chance to see it. Student Yi, what kind of dance do you know? Qin Baiyuan asked deliberately. I'm talking nonsense. I don't know how to dance. Really? But I see that you have a good figure. You should know how to dance, and it should be a hot dance. Yin was so angry that she almost fainted. If he didn't speak, no one would think he was mute, okay? By the way, about the matter of you recommending her to work at Blue Sky, as far as I know, there is no vacancy in the design department of Blue Sky. Yes, there is a designer who is about to leave. Mubai said. Do you mean Fanny? Don't you know that she will stay for another 3 months? Mubai frowned. She didn't mention it to me. Anyway, there is no vacancy for the time being. I can arrange for Yin to be my assistant. You already have an assistant. If you get your own student out of nowhere, I'm afraid you will be criticized. After all, Director Mu, you are famous for being impartial. I'm afraid this will affect your reputation. Although there is no vacancy in the design department, I have been looking for a secretary, but I haven't been able to find one. I think Yin is quite suitable. Secretary? Mubai shook his head when he heard that. She is a designer. How can she be a secretary? Qin Baiyuan raised his eyebrows arrogantly. Could it be that you think that being my secretary is a disgrace to her talent? Even if she enters the design department, she can't be promoted to a designer immediately. She needs at least a few years of work experience. But if she becomes my secretary and passes my assessment, I can directly promote her and guarantee that everyone will be convinced and won't talk about her behind her back. This is an opportunity. Think about it. Mubai couldn't deny that what Qin Baiyuan said was the truth, but he still felt very uneasy. What? Are you worried that I have ulterior motives? Are you afraid that I will steal your woman? Don't talk nonsense. Teacher Mu and I are only in a teacher-student relationship. Yi Yin's attitude was strong. If looks could kill, Qin Baiyuan would have died 10 million times. It didn't matter how he bullied her, but she couldn't ridicule Mubai. If it's the truth, then there's no need to emphasize it, right? Director Mu, you know my temper very well. I can't change the decision I have made. If you really care about Yi Yin, you should seize this opportunity for her. Of course, I won't force you. Think about it carefully. Qin Baiyuan left after saying that. Yi Yin quickly chased after him and dragged him to the stairwell. The first thing she said was scolding him. Qin Baiyuan, you are AB*TC. He didn't care and tidied up the wrinkles on his sleeve. Chapter 313. If you have something against me, just come at me. Why did you come here? Do you want Teacher Mu to suspect us? I do, but it seems that his IQ is not high enough. He still can't see the clues. Or rather, he trusts you too much. As I said, my patience is limited. Since you can't make a decision, then I can only let your dear Teacher Mu choose for you. You? Qin Baiyuan slapped her finger away. Girl, talk nicely. Don't point your finger at people. I don't like it. I don't like you either, you shameless great demon. At least it's better than you trying to cover it up with lies. When was I full of lies? When weren't you? Qin Baiyuan took a step forward and held his arm, trapping Yi Yin between him and the wall. Relying on his tall figure, he suppressed her in terms of aura. You keep insisting that you and Mubai are just teacher and student, as if you two are the purest people in the world. But what did I see just now? If I didn't interrupt you, you would have kissed him, right? Or have you already kissed him? We didn't. That's just temporary. It will happen sooner or later. I really want to ask. You just had sex with me a few days ago, and now you're flirting with your own teacher. How does it feel? Is it exciting to cheat on two people at the same time? I'll emphasize it again. Qin Baiyuan covered Yi Yin's mouth with his palm. If you do, then you do. If you don't, then you don't. The truth won't change because of your denial. Do you understand? I don't like it when you're always lying through your teeth. I'll give you one last week. After 1 week, report to Blue Sky on time. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences. After a week of struggle, Yi Yin finally accepted her fate. She reported to Blue Sky early in the morning. At 8 in the morning, not everyone came. Yi Yin waited for a while and saw a person who looked like a secretary walk over. She asked, "Are you Secretary Lin?" "I am." "You are?" "I'm Yi Yin. I'm here to report today." "Oh, it's you?" Lin Fei couldn't help but take a few more glances. Previously, the CEO had said that someone would be transferred over in the next few days. She had thought that it would be some extraordinary elite, but the person in front of her looked simple and innocent, like a graduate who had just come out of society. He did not look like someone who had been trained in a Fortune 500 company at all. Could it be that the president coveted her good looks? Women were more sensitive when it came to makeup. No matter how Lin Fei looked at her, she felt that she didn't have any makeup on. His skin was like jelly, sparkling and translucent, without a single pore. It was the legendary porcelain skin, so good that it made her jealous. Young girls were born beautiful. What are you looking at? It's nothing. Come and fill in the job form. After completing the entry procedures, Lin Fei brought Yi Yin around the company and gave her instructions. The CEO has 3 secretaries. I'm in charge of external affairs, and there's also Yao Yao, who's in charge of socializing with the CEO. Actually, their roles are similar to public relations. As he said this, he curled his lips. As for you, you're in charge of the CEO's daily affairs. 3 secretaries? That's a lot? Is it a lot? For the CEO of a multinational financial group, it's not a lot at all. Because it's a lot, the workload is especially heavy. You have to be mentally prepared. Have you done this kind of work before? Yi Yin shook her head. Before she graduated, she had been doing part-time jobs, such as serving dishes and delivering food. This was her first formal job, so she was quite nervous, afraid that she wouldn't do well. Lin Fei patted her on the shoulder with an expression that said, "Then I can only wish you good luck." There was a scent of perfume in the air. Yi Yin looked in the direction of the scent and saw a butterfly flying in. It was not a real butterfly but a gorgeous beauty. Because it was too beautiful and too ostentatious, the first word that flashed through Yi Yin's mind was butterfly. The other employees were all wearing work clothes except for her, who was wearing a pink spaghetti strap skirt, which was bright and attractive. If it were any other occasion, Yi Yin would have felt that it was understandable. She had beautiful legs and breasts, and she had the capital to show off. She wanted to show off, but she couldn't. But in a workplace it seemed a little too unprofessional. The male colleagues in the company were only looking at her, and they were not in the mood to work. While they were absent-minded, the beauty had already walked in front of them. She was more than 1.7 meters tall, and with her high heels, Yi Yin and Lin Fei looked like dwarfs in front of her. "Why are you only here now? Can't you come to work on time one day?" Lin Fei asked unhappily. "What does it have to do with you? We are all secretaries, so why do you care? I had a business meeting until 2 o'clock last night, and it's good enough that I can come to work today. If you can do it, then do it. Otherwise, don't talk nonsense. There are some things that I really can't do. Think about it, but she looks down on you." Yao Yao deliberately glanced at Lin Fei's flat chest. TSK, so pitiful. Looking at this situation, it was not the first time that the two of them had a conflict, and Yi Yin did not want to be involved. "Who are you?" "I am the new secretary, Yi Yin." "You are the one that the CEO specially arranged?" "I was talking about a national beauty, but it turns out that she is just an ordinary beauty. I'm really a little disappointed. If she had known earlier, she would not have dressed up specially today. A little girl could not even compare to one of her fingers." She pushed her away and walked away while twisting her slender waist. All the male colleagues in the office fixed their eyes on her perky butt. "Vixen." Lin Fei made a vomiting expression. "Vixen, so ostentatious all day long. Is she here to work or to seduce men?" "Flirtatious. She likes to backstab people, so don't get too close to her." "Okay, I got it. I am almost done. The CEO is waiting for you in the office." "He is here?" Yi Yin was very surprised. "I arrived at 8 o'clock, but I did not see him come in. Don't you know? The CEO goes to work at 7 o'clock every day, and arrives earlier than anyone else. Don't be fooled by his frivolous face, but he is very serious about his work. Otherwise, Blue Sky would not be able to come back to life in such a short time. So, he is really a very powerful man." Lin Fei's face was full of admiration. "And he is so handsome." The corner of Yi Yin's eyes twitched twice. He. This was the first time that she met him as a subordinate, and Yi Yin could not help but feel a little nervous. She adjusted herself at the door and took a few deep breaths before pushing the door to enter. Qin Baiyuan was busy with his work, and he raised his hand to make a gesture to wait. Yi Yin stood at the door for a while, feeling a little awkward. According to her previous expectations, Qin Baiyuan was an ignorant and incompetent rich kid, and the so-called work should be just a formality. But she did not expect that he would be very serious about work, as if he had changed into a different person. That pair of peach blossom eyes usually harbored evil intentions, but at this moment they were clear, sharp, and very focused. When he read the document, there was a cigarette in his hand, quietly burning, and the smoke slowly curling around his fingertips. After reading the last word, he put out the cigarette and raised his head. The black shirt made his whole face look even colder, so the moment their eyes met, Yi Yin's heart felt as if it had been hit hard, and there was a kind of shock that went straight to the soul. How could a man have such exquisite facial features? Qin Baiyuan took a sip of coffee and smiled playfully. I know I am good-looking, but there is no need to stare at me like this, right? There is still a long way to go, what's the hurry? As soon as he spoke, he broke her temporary intoxication, so that handsome face turned into a devil's skin again, which made Yi Yin's teeth itch with hatred. I'm not looking at you, I am looking at the building behind you. Oh. He had an expression that said, as if I would believe you. Qin Baiyuan narrowed his eyes and slowly looked at her. Under the white shirt was a black skirt, which was a very ordinary work outfit. It was probably because of her slender and long legs that she looked very sexy. Yes, work clothes were also a kind of uniform temptation. What are you looking at again? Don't look around. Yi Yin used her hand to block the skirt. This work outfit was given to her by a classmate who had grown fat and couldn't wear it anymore. The skirt was a little short and she also felt strange. If you don't want me to look around, don't wear so short. If you wear so short, then don't blame me for looking around. Which man isn't a visual creature? I originally hired you because I thought you were interesting, but now it seems that you have another use for visual enjoyment. Not bad. About what you said just now, I can sue you. Really? Why don't I know that looking more is considered molestation? Since you want to sue me, why don't I just make this accusation a reality? I still have a bed inside, why don't we? His slender fingers touched his lips, and Yi Yin was so disgusted that she had goosebumps. Looking at her as if she was facing a formidable enemy, she was extremely cute. Qin Baiyuan felt that if he scared her every day, his life would be much more interesting. Don't worry, I'm not in the mood to eat you now. I'm hungry, buy me breakfast. Why aren't you eating when you're here so early? I'm too busy with work and forgot to eat. I'm your secretary, not an errand boy. Didn't Secretary Lin tell you clearly that you are in charge of my daily life? If she didn't tell you clearly, then it's her fault and I'm going to hold her responsible. No. Yi Yin hurriedly waved her hands. She said that it's my own understanding. I thought that being in charge of your daily life meant work. Although she had never been a secretary before, according to normal understanding, she didn't need to buy breakfast for the CEO, right? Was he bullying her because she had never worked before? How can work alone satisfy me? Qin Baiyuan deliberately paused on that word. He was already very handsome, but this made him look even more evil. What I need is a woman who can meet all my needs 24 hours a day in all aspects. Yi Yin was sure that she was not thinking about it, but Qin Baiyuan was really thinking. How on earth did a pervert like him, whose mind was full of dirty thoughts, become the CEO? In her opinion, he went to work at 7 every day because he secretly hid in the office to read dirty magazines, right? Okay, don't say any more. I'll buy it for you. What do you want to eat? Rice noodle roll from Song's Tea Restaurant. Song's Tea Restaurant? Where is it? Chapter 314. Yi Yin was confused and shook her head. I can't remember. If you can't remember, why don't you write it down in a notebook? You said it's very close. It's not far, within 10 kilometers. If this was called close, she could chop off his head. It's just breakfast. Do you have to be so troublesome? Troublesome? I don't think so. I eat like this every morning. But it's the peak season recently, and the workload has increased a lot, so I don't have time to buy breakfast. This task will be handed over to you in the future. In the future? You mean every day? Qin Baiyuan nodded. It's easy for you to take one on the way to work. What if it's not on the way? Then it's also very convenient to take a detour. Yi Yin wanted to take off her hand and smash it on his face. He was messing with her. He must be messing with her. Otherwise, how could it be so troublesome to eat breakfast? Oh, he could buy breakfast before, but now that she was at work, he couldn't even buy breakfast for himself? Could it be any more obvious? President, I live a little far from here. It takes an hour to come here by bus. There is a bus stop near the company. If I go to the company to buy rice noodle rolls, it will waste a lot of time. I don't want to delay my work. Is your work more important or my work more important? Moreover, your job is to do what I give you. If you can't do such a small thing well, what's the difference between you and a salted fish? It sounded very reasonable, but it was all nonsense, okay? Since I'm here to work, I should do something more meaningful. If I don't eat breakfast, I will have a stomachache and low blood sugar and I can't work. But you can avoid all this by buying breakfast. Secretary Yi, do you know how meaningful your work is? Yin was afraid that she would faint from anger if she argued with him one more word. I'll go. She was completely confused by the left and right turns he said just now. Fortunately, she remembered the name of Song's tea restaurant and could check it with the map on her mobile phone. The sun was scorching in August, and it was already very hot in the morning. In addition, Yin had a poor sense of direction. She had to spend an hour to find the few kilometers of road. When she returned, she was covered in sweat. Qin Baiyuan was sitting leisurely in his office, smoking and enjoying the air conditioner. When she came back, drenched in sweat, the first thing he said was, "What took you so long? After a long time, the rice noodle roll has become cold." Yin rolled her eyes at him in annoyance. "You're still eating hot food on such a hot day? It won't taste good if it's too long. If you have something to eat, then eat. Why are you talking so much nonsense? I haven't eaten yet." Qin Baiyuan opened the box and frowned. "Soy sauce and spring onions? I won't eat it." "How do I know that you don't eat seasoning? Won't you ask? I've never eaten rice noodle roll before. How would I know what's inside? You're a big man, do you have to be so picky about your food?" Qin Baiyuan replied. "If I can't get the woman I love, I can't even eat the breakfast I want? Then you should have told me earlier. That's all I can do for today. Just make do with it first." The young master closed the lid and pushed it forward. "There's no such thing as making do in my dictionary. Then what should I do? I'll go buy another one." Yin felt as if 10,000 horses were galloping madly in her heart. She really wanted to curse. But what was the use of cursing him? Whatever the young master said, arguing with him would just be a waste of time. She could only suppress her anger and make another trip. In the end, she had already bought it. Yin came back to report. "I can't do anything even if it's sold out. You're the one who's too picky and didn't make it clear. I just remembered that the rice noodle roll is limited. It was sold out at 10 o'clock. Then why didn't you tell me earlier?" "Didn't I tell you? I just remembered." Yin didn't want to scold him this time. She just wanted to slap his smug face. "What's that in your hand?" "Shumai. I want to eat it. I bought it for myself. I've eaten it." "I don't mind." Qin Baiyuan crooked his finger. "Give it to me." "Didn't you insist on rice noodle roll?" "That's what I was thinking. But I think the food you've eaten tastes good." "Ah? Well, I took a bite." "You've already kissed and slept with me. What's there to be afraid of?" Qin Baiyuan took the first bite and ate the half-eaten shumai. She was satisfied with the taste. It's delicious." Yin clenched her fists. "What? I'm not full myself." She was not full, but she was full from being angry with him. The breakfast problem was finally solved, and Yin could only deal with work now. She had never done a clerical job before, so she didn't know how to use a lot of software. She was overwhelmed. Fortunately, Lin Fei was there to help her. The two of them got along very well, so they got to know each other quickly and had lunch together. Yin was a little dumbfounded. "Wow, is this the staff cafeteria? It's as high class as the Western restaurants outside." "Yeah, and it's free." "Free?" "Yeah. Blue Sky is famous for its good benefits. You'll know it in the future. Just take whatever you want to eat." Yin was starving. She ordered a set meal and took a lot of bread and desserts. "You can eat so much by yourself?" "Yeah, I'm a big eater." "Didn't you say it's free?" "Of course I have to eat more." "Wow, it's delicious." "This is delicious too." The high-intensity work in the morning was quite depressing. So seeing her eating so happily, Lin Fei's mood suddenly brightened. "Young people are so energetic. You're not old either." "I'm 27. I'm old compared to you." "Oh, by the way, what's your relationship with the CEO?" "It's okay." "Why would he hire you if it's okay?" "He's a person who separates public and private interests." "Really? I just think he's a bit rude." Lin Fei opened her mouth in surprise. "You said the CEO is rude? Isn't it not good to say bad things about your boss?" Yin actually had a lot to say, but after thinking about it, she changed her words. "Anyway, he's a bit weird and hard to serve. He's a perfectionist, not picky. Compared to other bosses, he's much better. Also, he's very handsome. Don't you think he's the male lead in a romance novel? All the female employees in the company see him as a fantasy object. Of course, that includes me. Unfortunately, I've been working for him for a few years, but he hasn't even looked at me. That's a good thing, right? If he likes you, you'll be the unlucky one." "Why would I? If he likes me, I'll be so happy I'll go crazy." Don't you think he has a peach blossom face and looks very unreliable? Yi-Yin wanted to call him a pervert, but that would be too direct. Even if he's a playboy, he has the capital. Also, the CEO used to be a playboy, but now he's completely different. There are very few scandals. Actually, the CEO is very pitiful. You mean about the divorce? Yes, his ex-wife used to be an employee of Blue Sky. They didn't have a good relationship, but later the CEO really fell in love with her. She wanted to divorce him and marry Mr. C of Ocean Group. Speaking of which, she's also a legendary woman. He has such a bad temper. No one can stand it, right? I don't think the CEO has a bad temper. Don't be fooled by his sloppy appearance, but he's very capable. A few months ago, his father was in prison and his mother was exposed for cheating. Blue Sky almost collapsed, and it was all thanks to him. You can't imagine the pressure he was under during that time. Ordinary people can't stand it at all. Yi-Yin just replied with an oh. She didn't expect him to have such a past. That's it? What else can I do? It wasn't that she had a heart of stone, but that her own life wasn't good. She really didn't have the right to sympathize with others. Qin Baiyuan didn't have it easy, but in the real world, who had it easy? It seems that you really have a lot of opinions about the CEO. Hee, it's alright. Lin Fei suddenly received an urgent email and left first. Yin stayed and continued to eat. In fact, she was already a little full, but she didn't want to waste food, so she kept stuffing it into her mouth. Showing. The familiar voice came into her ears, startling Yin. Cough, 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 cough. Mubai hurriedly handed her water. Are you okay? Yin gulped down 2 mouthfuls of water before she recovered. She was extremely embarrassed. Did he see how cruel she was when she ate just now? She was very ladylike when she ate in front of him. This time she was exposed. Yin squeezed out a forced smile. Moo, Teacher Moo. We're in the company. Don't call me Teacher Moo. Just call me Mubai. Yin nodded. You're here to eat too? Yes. How do you feel on your first day at work? Just like that. Don't you get along well with CEO Qin? Not just not good? She wanted to kill someone, okay? However, Yin would complain in front of anyone except Mubai, so she had to say it. No, it's okay. Maybe I'm not used to it. Yes. It's always like this at the beginning of work. I'll get used to it slowly. If you need any help, come to me immediately. Thank you, Teacher Mu. No, Mubai. I'm still not used to it. How about I call you Director Mu? Okay. Soon Yin heard discussions coming from all directions. The female colleagues around her were all pointing at her, probably talking about her relationship with Mubai. You're very popular in the company, right? Many female colleagues must like you. Really? I don't really care about that. They're all talking about us. How about we keep a distance? You don't look like a girl who will be influenced by other people's opinions. It's different at work now. I'm afraid I'll attract bad publicity for you. You're a pure girl. What bad publicity do you have? Don't care too much about other people's opinions, okay? By the way, I have good news for you. The project between Blue Sky and Ocean Group is already on the market. I'm the chief designer. Really? Yin was so excited that she almost jumped up. I heard that the skyscraper this time is known as one of the most eye-catching buildings in the world. You're amazing. Yes, I have the blueprint on my phone. Do you want to take a look? Sure. Chapter 315. She was always beaming with joy in front of Mubai, and her eyes and lips were always full of smiles. But in front of him, she always acted as if she was facing a formidable enemy, as if she was ready to fight with him at any time. This little girl really had 2 faces. Qin Baiyuan ordered a simple meal. After sitting down, he stared at them, thinking that Yin would notice him. But after sitting for half an hour, she was still chatting with Mubai, and her eyes never left him or his phone. Qin Baiyuan felt neglected and started to feel a little unhappy. A man as handsome as him was always dazzling and eye-catching wherever he went, but Yin actually completely ignored his existence? Besides, he had been staring at her, but she didn't feel anything at all? It was really frustrating. The most ridiculous thing was that after they stood up, they continued to chat and laugh as they walked past him, still not looking at him. Qin Baiyuan's face darkened on the spot. He would remember this. In the afternoon, Lin Fei brought a cup of coffee over to him. Someone seems to be in a good mood this afternoon. Yeah. At the thought that her idol was the chief designer, Yin couldn't suppress her excitement. She was even prouder than if she had done something great herself. What? Is it because of Director Mu? How did you know? The company forum has a photo of you two chatting. Don't tell me there's nothing between you two. I don't believe it. Leniency for those who confess, severity for those who resist. He's my mentor. Right, I think he's a professor at Tsinghua University. Director Mu is very popular in our company, second only to the president. His family seems to be very rich in England. It's a super big family. TSK. Are you going to counterattack the teacher? What are you thinking? I'm so ordinary, how could he like me? That's not what the photo says. He's so happy. I can't be bothered to argue with you. I'm going to print it. Yin had just taken 2 steps when she suddenly tripped and fell into a human wall. She heard a mocking laugh. Secretary Yi, it's not a good idea to throw yourself into someone's arms in public, right? A few murderous gazes. Only then did Yin realize that everyone in the office was staring at this scene. She hurriedly broke free from Qin Baiyuan's arms, and her face was flushed with anxiety. She glared at him angrily. He was the one who tripped her, yet he falsely accused her of throwing herself into his arms. Could this man be any more despicable? Damn it. Qin Baiyuan was satisfied to receive her vicious gaze. The corners of his mouth curled up. He waved his sleeves and left easily. After he left, the surrounding colleagues began to whisper. So many people actually dare to. Aren't they a little too thirsty? That's right. Shameless. I think she's here to seduce men. She was just having dinner with Director Mu. She looks quite pure. Who would have thought? Tisk. Yin blushed at their words. She hurriedly picked up the documents that were scattered on the ground, lowered her head and left quickly. That afternoon Yin was forced to bear the criticism from all sides, and they all regarded her as a vixen. Halfway through she went to the pantry to make tea. There was no one else around, so she could finally relax a little. She had never cared much about other people's opinions before, but in such an environment she had to care even if she didn't want to. Finally she completely understood the horror of public opinion. She took 2 sips of tea to ease her nervous mood. When she turned her head, she bumped into a figure, and the whole cup of tea was poured on her. But it was not Yi Yin's fault. It was that person who did it on purpose. She was already in a bad mood, so she directly said one sentence. Don't you look where you are walking? She did not expect Yao Yao to be even more arrogant than her. You are a newcomer, how dare you talk to me like this? Do you know who I am? Yin looked at the tea dripping down her white shirt. She did not care who she was, but it was wrong of her to bump into her on purpose. You are so arrogant on your first day of work. Do you really think that you have the support of the president? I could not tell. You are a fresh graduate who pretends to be so pure. I did not expect that you would take the initiative to throw yourself into my arms and in public. Why are girls nowadays so thick-skinned? Do you really think that you are so great just because the president came out of nowhere? I see that the president is not interested in you. It is you who took the initiative to throw yourself at him. It has nothing to do with you. It is not a reason for you to bump into me. I bumped into you on purpose? Do you have proof? I can say that you bumped into me on purpose. Your dress looks like a street stall item that costs about 100 yuan. Do you know how expensive my dress is? It is from Chanel and costs more than 10,000 yuan. You can't even afford to pay for a drop of it. Then why did you bump into me on purpose? Don't talk nonsense. So what if I have proof? So what if I bumped into you? You can go cry to the president and say that I bullied you. Let's see if he will care. You are so young, but you learn to be a vixen. You even dream of becoming a phoenix. You reap without sowing and only think about seducing men. You can only be a crow for the rest of your life. Yao Yao poked her shoulder with her hand. With your looks you can at most deceive old men. Don't even think about hitting on the president. You are not worthy, understand? I didn't. You say you didn't, but your body is very active. I am warning you, stay away from the president or else I will not be polite. After saying this, Yao Yao turned around and walked away with her head held high. Yin stood where she was and the tea continued to drip down. Yin had been tormented for the whole day. She felt that she was not this tired even when she was running around delivering takeouts. The mental fatigue was much more tiring than the physical fatigue. She was completely exhausted. Dragging her heavy steps towards the bus stop, a sports car suddenly turned a corner and stopped in front of her. Yi Yin's anger rose to the top of her head. Wasn't this murder on purpose? The car window rolled down and Qin Baiyuan sat inside with a smug look on his face. Hello, did I scare you? What do you think? Your car brushed past my arm. It was just a brush, not a real collision. You have to believe in my driving skills. It would be strange if Yin believed him. Even if he did not want to kill her, he wanted to scare her to death. How could there be such a hateful man? Qin Baiyuan pushed down his sunglasses and glanced at the tea stain on her shirt with a smile. Not bad, the color is very special. You are still smiling? It is all because of you. What does it have to do with me? I did not create any stains on your body. His voice was deep and meaningful, and it sounded especially ambiguous. You are still playing the rogue? Because you tripped me and accused me so loudly of throwing myself at you, I became the public enemy of all women. That is why I am like this. Did I trip you? Why do I remember that you were the one who threw yourself at me? I did not. You do, and you can't wait to do it. I can't stand your enthusiasm anymore. Yin clenched her fists and stomped her feet. If you talk nonsense again, I will. Qin Baiyuan waited for her to continue with an expression that said, what can you do about it? It was very annoying. The more handsome he was, the more annoying he was. I am too lazy to argue with you. Yin turned around and left, but Qin Baiyuan's car kept following her. To get rid of him, she walked very fast, but how could a person outrun a car? Instead, she was so tired that she was sweating profusely. She had to stop and rest with her hands on her knees. She glared at him angrily. What do you want? Get in the car. Why should I get in your car? I told you to get in the car, so get in the car. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Do you think I will sell you? That is hard to say. There is nothing a person like you can't do. Don't worry, you are not worth much. There were already a lot of people watching. They probably thought that it was a rich second generation picking up girls. The women's eyes were full of envy and jealousy. If you don't get in the car, we will continue to waste time like this. I don't believe you can walk home. I don't like to repeat myself. Do you understand? Yin hesitated for a moment, but finally got in the car and slammed the door angrily. Today is your first day at work. Are you happy? Happy? How could he say this word? It was completely vexed, okay? She couldn't help but reply in a strange tone. Don't you know whether I am happy or not? The road began to become congested. Qin Baiyuan put one hand on the steering wheel and drove very slowly. Under the sunglasses, the bridge of his nose was high, the curve of an aristocrat, and the pair of rosy lips was even more eye-catching, exuding a seductive luster. There was a faint smile on his face, with a kind of good and evil feeling. With such a good boss and colleague like me, you should be very happy. Isn't it? She gritted her teeth. It is really very happy. Now, actually, no one will think that you are mute if you don't speak. It is time to get off work. You are no longer my boss and we are not familiar. Don't talk about nothing. You look gentle, but you are full of thorns. Does your teacher Mu know that you are so fierce? However, this young master likes to pluck thorns. Aren't you afraid that I will stab you to death? If you can stab me to death, then you have the ability. Normally you are so busy every day. Why do you still have so much time to pester me? I'm just a small secretary. It is really not worth spending so much time and energy on me. Do you have a problem with me liking you? He deliberately said this without pausing, so Yin could not help but shiver when she heard it was, I like you at first. When she heard the whole thing, she realized that it was what he meant. She could not help but secretly blame herself for being too narcissistic. The big demon did not have a heart. How could he like her? He just thought that she was fun. Besides, it would be her misfortune if he liked her. Qin Baiyuan took in every subtle reaction of hers. He felt that it was such an interesting thing to be hated by a woman. Yin, this little hedgehog, was definitely the one with the most expressions among all the women he knew, and she had a lot of small movements. It was strange that he only liked mature and sensible women in the past. He felt that it was very convenient. But now he felt that thorny roses were not bad. Even sarcasm were very pleasing to him. He now felt that it was getting more and more interesting. Qin Baiyuan got out of the car and Yin had to follow him. Looking at the luxurious women's flagship store in front of her, she stopped in her tracks. Why did you bring me here? Nonsense, of course it is to buy clothes. Do you think I will bring you to rob? Wait, I did not say that I want to buy clothes. I want to buy them for you. Chapter 316. Qin Baiyuan took off his sunglasses and glanced at the tea stains on her shirt. You call this clothes? I didn't say I wanted to buy them. What a bunch of nonsense. Why are you so worrisome? Qin Baiyuan grabbed her and dragged her into the store. The shop assistant welcomed them with a smile. Welcome, young Master Qin. Then she saw Yi Yin, who was dragged in, and thought, what's going on? Did young Master Qin have a new girlfriend? The girl's heart broke. Yi Yin didn't want to make a scene in a high-class place, so she lowered her voice. What do you want? Don't you have enough brains? Obviously I want to buy clothes. I can buy them myself. Why do I need you to buy them? Because your taste in clothes and those cheap clothes hurt my eyes. I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for myself. Qin Baiyuan pushed Yi Yin forward. Work clothes, casual clothes and dresses, 10 sets each. Okay, this way please. When Yi Yin passed by the luxury flagship store, she just looked at it from afar, imagining that one day she could go in and spend money when she was rich. Being served by a group of arrogant shop assistants was something she didn't even dare to think about. After all, she was a girl with vanity, so she couldn't help feeling smug. She glanced at Qin Baiyuan, who was sitting on the sofa with his legs crossed, and felt that he wasn't as hateful as before. Although he forced her to come here, at least he gave her a dream, didn't he? She changed into one set of clothes after another and the sky darkened. The street lights lit up and the neon lights flashed, making the city look more prosperous at night. Yi Yin couldn't count how many sets she had changed, and each set was beautiful. It was like a dream. Young Master Qin, this is the last set. Qin Baiyuan looked up at her. Behind him was a floor-to-ceiling glass window. Outside the window was a bustling city. The light soaked into his face, making his usually evil face look handsome and gentle. He had a cup of coffee in his hand and a cigarette in his right hand. He exuded an aristocratic aura. Yi Yin's face slowly heated up, and she subconsciously tightened her grip on her skirt. Would he like her like this? Qin Baiyuan snuffed out his cigarette, got up and walked towards her. His well-ironed gray suit accentuated his noble temperament. His legs were slender and straight. He was a natural hanger and had an outstanding temperament. Stopping in front of her, the corners of his beautiful lips curled up slightly. This suit suits you. Qin Baiyuan really thought she was beautiful. He had seen too many different kinds of beauties. In fact, it was rare for him to find a woman beautiful. However, Yi Yin in front of him made his heart tremble. She was wearing a classically styled evening gown. The fishtail style outlined her exquisite curves, slender waist and perky buttocks. The skirt was embroidered with classical tulips, which accentuated her elegant, low-key and gorgeous temperament. Her black hair fell softly on her shoulders, wrapping around her pure little face. Her eyebrows were picturesque and she was pure and beautiful. She was very suitable for this kind of dressing. If she was born into a better family, she would definitely be the most eye-catching socialite. However, the hardships of life had tempered her to be strong and independent, which gave her a unique charm. Qin Baiyuan didn't want to admit that he was a little intoxicated by her beauty. Why are you looking at me? Yi Yin lowered her head, and the tips of her ears turned red. You look good. No way. Although she was mumbling, the corners of her mouth had already curled up slightly. Give me the address. What address? Your address. There are more than 30 sets. Of course I have to deliver them. Do you want me to do hard labor to bring them back? Are you really buying all of them? 1 or 2 sets will do. I'm not buying them for you. I'm buying them for Blue Sky. As the secretary of the CEO of Blue Sky, you will embarrass Blue Sky if you dress so shabbily. Qin Baiyuan handed a black card to the shopping guide. Give her the address. After leaving the flagship store, a warm current hit her face, and it also made Yi Yin a little more awake. Just now in such a gorgeous flagship store, she felt like she was dreaming. She really thought that she was a princess. It wasn't until she walked out of the door that she returned to the real world. She was still the same Yi Yin, and Qin Baiyuan was still that devil. Where was the halo of a prince? It wasn't a halo just now, it was just a light. How much is it for more than 30 sets of clothes? I don't know. Do you think I'm the kind of person who would ask for the price when buying things? Qin Baiyuan's tone wasn't arrogant at all. It was just a plain and straightforward sentence. This was a very normal thing for him. However, Yi Yin's heart couldn't help but let out a thump sound. Buying things without asking for the price, who wouldn't want such a life? She had to admit that this was all fate. Everyone was destined to have a different background. She wasn't arrogant at all. She really envied Qin Baiyuan, who reincarnated better than 99% of the people in this world. Don't think that you can buy me with a few clothes. Don't worry. If I, Qin Baiyuan, want to buy a woman, it's not just a few clothes. It's just a small matter to buy this brand and give it to you. She curled her lips. You used to chase women with money, right? Only women have been chasing me. Do I need to chase them? Are you kidding me? However, if they can please me, I will also give them some gifts as a reward. Reward? What's the difference between this and raising a pet? Is it? But they are willing to be my pets. Yin shook her head. She admitted that material things were very attractive to women. Even she found it hard to resist. However, there were always some things in the world that were more precious than money, including dignity and freedom. If she was raised like a canary in a cage, waiting for him all day long and treating him as the center of the world, what was the point of such a life? Where do you live? Yin almost answered directly that it was Daijing Star City. Fortunately, she stopped in time and said an ordinary neighborhood nearby. He knew that she had no money and couldn't afford to live in a mansion. If she said it, she would definitely be exposed. Oh, do you know that there is a Daijing Star City nearby? Yes, what's wrong? I have a few apartments there. They are empty. You can move in. Yin quickly shook her head. No, I live well where I am now. I don't want to move. Qin Baiyuan didn't force her. After arriving at the destination, Yin hurriedly got out of the car as if she was running for her life. Wait. Qin Baiyuan pressed her hand. The skin contact aroused sparks, and Yin quickly withdrew her hand. What are you doing? Don't always be surprised, okay? I won't eat you. I sent you back. Out of politeness, shouldn't you invite me up for a glass of water? No, I live with someone else. It's not convenient. Don't sit in the living room. Go to your room. No. A girl's boudoir is not a place for a man like you to enter. I still have to get married in the future, okay? Qin Baiyuan was amused by her words and laughed. My God, did you come back from the last ocean? Boudoir? Junior high school students are more open-minded than you. Then go find a junior high school student. Anyway, you are not welcome here. Hey, hurry up. I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep. Yin ran into the strange building in front of her without looking back. She hid in the corner and peeked. When Qin Baiyuan's car drove away, she was relieved. She walked out and entered Daijing Star City. She kicked the stones at her feet and walked forward slowly. She was so tired after only one day. What should she do in the future? When would such days come to an end? She was feeling dejected when a hand suddenly patted her from behind. She screamed and jumped a few meters. Oh my God. Why are you so scared? Do you have a guilty conscience? Qin Baiyuan put his hands in his trouser pockets and looked at her calmly. Why are you here? Didn't you leave? I saw you hiding behind the door sneakily and didn't go up. I wanted to see what you wanted to do. After a long time, it turns out that you live here. Qin Baiyuan had an expression that said, I've caught you. Let's see where you can run to now. She was really a cunning little fox. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, a foot is higher than the devil. Her little tricks could not escape from the palm of his hand. Yin hated him. How could there be such a cunning man and he was still haunting her? Who said that I live here? This environment is good. Can I take a walk? You don't go home at this time but come here for a walk? Do you think I'm stupid? Who said I can't? I like to come here, can't I? Is this your home? Don't you know that Daijing Star City is the property of Blue Sky? You earn a few thousand a month, but live in a mansion worth tens of millions? I said I don't live here. Qin Baiyuan raised his chin. You still have the owner's card in your hand, and you tell me that you don't live here? Yin was speechless. I believe that with your financial ability, you can't pay the rent here. Then, someone will pay for you? A man? Who pays the rent for me has nothing to do with you. Do you think that only rich people like you have a place to live and we have to sleep on the street? I don't have to sleep on the street, but I certainly can't afford to rent here. This is the house my parents left me before they went bankrupt. Is that okay? As far as I know, you are an orphan with only a hospitalized grandmother. You actually have an ancestral property? You investigated me? I can't hire an unknown person as my secretary. Improving mutual understanding is conducive to deepening our relationship. Yin took a step back. Who wants to deepen our relationship with you? I don't know you at all. First time strange, second time familiar. If we do it a few more times, how familiar do you think I will be? You are a psycho, a stalker, I don't want to talk to you. Yin turned around and wanted to escape, but to her surprise, Mu Bai came. Teacher Mu? You are back. Mu Bai looked at Qin Baiyuan who was behind her. He felt a little sour in his heart. Boss Qin sent you back? She came back so late. Was she with him? No, it's not like that. Yin didn't know how to explain. Qin Baiyuan immediately understood something. Director Mu also lives here? Don't tell me that you just happen to live in the same community. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.